So let's focus on the game that's coming up. Kick-off in around 7 minutes here at the London Stadium. West Ham against Manchester United. And Stuart Pearce, I want to follow up on what Flex was saying about Bruno Fernandes. 200 goal involvements in his 6 years at Manchester United. And Michael Carrick and the captain are having a bit of a love-in. Bruno says Carrick's history at the club brings something special to the team. Carrick says Bruno is a really intelligent footballer. He is the real heartbeat, not just because he wears the armband, but because of the way Bruno Fernandes plays. He's been brilliant this season, hasn't he?
Well, not just this season, probably many seasons to come as well. And I think if we throw Flex in there on that three-way loving, you know, it would just be beautiful to watch. It really will. But listen, he's been magnificent. As I say, his goals, his assists, the way he drives the team, and you've only got to watch him on the pitch. You pick up the way he cajoles his teammates as well, you know what I mean? He coaches his teammates on the pitch. And in the modern day game, I don't think you get too many people of that ilk that actually go out there and have a real big influence on the rest of the team. They've got it all on to do their own job as such.
Bubbles are flying from the machine pitch side. Let's talk about West Ham and what they need to stay up. Their running includes home games with Man City and Arsenal, trips to Villa and Liverpool, not easy, but then the others have difficult games as well. And to give you an idea, I want to know kind of what points total keeps you up. Maybe Jim Proudfoot, you can help with this, because last season Leicester finished third bottom on 25 points. Season before, Luton third bottom, 26 points. Low totals here. It's going to be more this season, isn't it?
It is going to be more. Well, you talk about Leicester last season, 25 points, but if they got 39, they'd still have gone down. I mean, Forest at the moment have got 26 points. They've still got to play each of the bottom two at home. They've got Brighton and Spurs away, Fulham, Bournemouth and Newcastle at home. So I would reckon, realistically, they'd expect to take 10 points from those 7 matches. That doesn't take the other 6 games against top 9 opposition into account, and that would take them to 36. If you take into account the average points per game of the remaining opponents, compare that to the difficulty of the fixtures that Forest have already played so far, you can actually statistically make a case they're going to either end up on 40 or 41. But let's assume that 36 is the bare minimum for West Ham. They start the night on 23. They need 13 points then from 13 games, 3 wins and 4 draws, or 4 wins and a draw. They've only got 2 of the bottom 7 left, Leeds and Wolves here. They both appear to be must-win games. So to stay up, they probably need to win both of those, beat either Everton or Bournemouth here, and then win at Brentford, Fulham, Newcastle or Palace. And again, for the sake of argument, discounted the matches against top 6 sides on the basis they've only taken 1 point from the reverse fixtures of those games, but there are other chances. The bottom line is the Hammers might need to go 5-3-5 from here. That's going to be tough.
So, Stuart, having taken all that in, who's going down?
Well, the favourites would be at the moment West Ham. There's no doubt about that. They pull a result out here tonight, and the pressure that cranks up on the ones above them is quite incredible, you know. So I think West Ham's season hinges on April. They got 2 home games and 1 away game, all winnable that Jim's mentioned, but they've got to get the fixtures between now and then out the way and be in touching distance, as in less than 3 points at least of whatever's above them.
Players are out here, but let's go to Hill Dickinson Stadium. What's happened, Matt Jones?
There's been a goal from the penalty spot. Everton 1 and Bournemouth 0. Awarded when Rayan tried to dribble his way out of the area. Branthwaite got in front of him and he got brought down as he stabbed the ball away. Illiman and Dye stepped up to take the penalty. Wasn't the cleanest of contacts, but he found the corner. Petrovic couldn't get down to it. Everton have the lead. Everton 1, Bournemouth 0.
Stays like that, Everton will be above Liverpool in the Premier League table tonight. Liverpool away to Sunderland is live on Talksport tomorrow night. You're listening to Kickoff on Talksport with Sky Sports. Don't forget that with Now you can stream the Premier League flexibly with a Now Sports Day or Month membership. 18 plus, stream via internet. Terms apply. It's a game that affects who goes into the Champions League and who goes into the Championship. They may be at different ends of the Premier League table, but they're both at the top end of the form table. What a game. West Ham against Manchester United, live and exclusive on TalkSport with former England captain Stuart Pearce, alongside your commentator Jim Proudfoot.
And in London's East End, the latest instalment of an engaging tale. This is a game that just has something about it, even if the setting is a different world from Upton Park's febrile atmosphere and tight confines, where West Ham Manchester United had history, histrionics and heroics. Here's a fixture rich with heritage, evoking memories of a title denied, of Tevez securing salvation, of Rooney being more than decent from halfway, and where the old stadium was given a spectacular send-off in the manner of an imaginative scriptwriter's fantasy. These days, it's a different ground and a different context. The Hammers improving, but striving for the consistency that will keep them up. Their visitors taking giant strides, riding the new manager bounce, and enjoying a renaissance that could pilot them back into the Champions League. Well, while tonight's episode might not provide the definitive full stop of those in the past, it could still be critical in the closing chapters of their respective campaigns. It's 2 minutes away. There has been a goal late in the first half at Tottenham. Ollie Klink.
Minute to go till half-time. It's Tottenham 0, Newcastle United 1. Joe Willock has put Newcastle in front. He was wonderfully played through by Jacob Ramsey through the middle, split the defence, and then he finished into the bottom right-hand corner. The second half will be live on Talksport 2. Approaching half-time, it's Tottenham 0, Newcastle 1.
Spurs 8 without a Premier League win if they don't turn that round. Leicester have lost their last 3. They're not losing tonight. Jeff Peters.
It's Leicester 3, Southampton 0. Abdul Fatawu has got the third, right-hand side, cut onto his left foot into the area and thrashed it into the roof of the net. His 8th of the season. Leicester 3, Southampton 0.
West Ham lining up here. Hermansen in goal. Wan-Bissaka, Mavropanos, Disasi Diouf, Fernandes, Souček and Potts, Bowen, Castellanos and Somerville. Manchester United in their change kit of white shirts and black shorts, kicking from right to left. Lommans in goal, Dallo, Maguire, Martinez and Shaw, Casemiro and Mainu, Ahmad Fernandez and Mbermo and Cunha. And we're underway. 2 clubs have seen fresh hope instilled. West Ham have won 3 out of 4 to transform their survival chances. Man United's best winning run in 2 years has performed major surgery on an ailing campaign, but whose upward curve is going to be continuing tonight? United in early possession, midway between the edge of their own penalty area and halfway, and slowing things immediately down to a walking pace as Maguire plays the ball forward into the feet of Kobbie Mainoo. Bruno Fernandes making an early run between the lines, and Freddie Potts slides in, puts it out of play for a Manchester United throw.
Yeah, I was just speaking before the game. I would be tempted if I was West Ham to man-mark Fernandes. I really would. Maybe put Freddie Potts on him to try and cancel both out, because he's operating at this moment just behind Freddie Potts, and he's such an intelligent player. He gets into little pockets, and Cunha coming in off the left-hand side as well, in the sort of inside right, inside left positions. That could cause West Ham a problem.
And straight back to Tottenham, Ollie Klink.
That goal has been ruled out, Jim. It's Tottenham 0, Newcastle 0. Joe Willock was a whisker offside as he was played through by Jacob Ramsey. So that one doesn't count. It's Tottenham 0, Newcastle 0.
Spurs only 2 wins in their last 10. Newcastle 1 win in their last 9, and on the back of 3 straight defeats. Still 0-0 approaching half-time there. That game is live for you over on Talksport 2 right now. Chelsea against Leeds is on Talk Radio. Everton leading Bournemouth 1-0 on the Talksport app. But if you have the app, you can just go down to the live matches tab at the bottom and keep abreast of everything that is going on over the course of the night, including here at West Ham, where Luke Shaw's in possession, level with the edge of the Hammers penalty area, ball into the feet of Mbermo. Cunha flights it in, and it bounces once in the 6-yard box on its way past Hermansen, straight out of play for a goal kick that will be taken by the Hammers. 2 minutes gone. West Ham 0, Manchester United 0.
Yeah, even at these early stages, United are finding it very, very comfortable. They're dictating the pace of the game at this moment in time, and from West Ham's point of view, being the home side, I'm not sure that's an acceptable trait to this game to start with.
And the Virtue Trophy, Stockport 2 up at Port Vale. All those games early kick-offs, they played an hour there. Just 3 minutes gone here with United in possession again. Matheus Fernandes stopping the darting run of Ahmad. And Taddy Castellanos, who's got a couple of West Ham goals in his young career for the club so far after his move from Lazio. He's linked up the play very effectively. And down he comes for Jared Bowen, who has scored in each of his last 2 matches against Manchester United here, including a penalty to win the game in the second minute of stoppage time last season. has it again. Played to him, and he's got a bit of time to bring the ball under control and now try and run at Luke Shaw. Burmo coming back, doubles up in front of Shaw. Finds Wan-Bissaka. Back he comes through the midfield for Mateus Fernandes. Now Disasi. Just delighted to be playing first team football again after so many months on the sidelines in the bomb squad at Chelsea. Lomans on the edge of his 6-yard box, clipping the ball forward. Good battle between Wan-Bissaka and Burmo. Well, it's been won by the former Manchester United man this time. Gets it forward towards Potts, goes out of play, and it's given as a West Ham throw on this near side. Half-time whistle's gone at Chelsea. Let's get the details there from Alex Crew.
Chelsea 1, Leeds 0. João Pedro with a goal on 24 minutes. A lovely dink finish over Carl Darlow for his 6th goal in 8 games. Chelsea 1, Leeds 0.
Harry Maguire and Senna Lomans just leaving the ball for each other for a moment. Eventually Maguire played it. It was a poor clearance from him. Bowen comes forward, flicks it into Maguire and wins the first corner of the day. It's a cheap concession from Manchester United. Let's get quick half-time details from Hill Dickinson, Matt Jones.
Everton 1, Bournemouth 0. Everton breaking the deadlock through Ndai's penalty after a foul by Rayon and Branthwaite. Otherwise, Petrovic has made an excellent save from Ndai. Not much for Bournemouth to shout about. Everton 1, Bournemouth 0.
Thank you, Matt. Bowen to take this corner on the West Ham United right. It's a very congested 6-yard box right in front of Senna Lomans, with probably 14 players inside the 6. In it comes, Lomans comes out, punches it clear towards the edge of the penalty area. Ahmad with the touch. They'll be able to help it further away with Cunha. Wan-Bissaka mopping up for West Ham in the centre circle. Ahmad chasing after him, but Wan-Bissaka can get it back for his goalkeeper. That's Hermansen, who's been recalled to the West Ham side, taking Areola's place at the weekend and keeping it tonight for West Ham. It's 0-0 here, 5 minutes gone. A very lively end of the first half at Tottenham. Ollie Kling.
And Newcastle are in front. Tottenham 0, Newcastle 1. Malik Chow has put the Magpies into the lead. It was a wicked cross from the right from Anthony Elanga. Chow headed it towards goal. It was saved by Vicario, but at the second bite of the cherry, Chow prodded it home to put Newcastle in the lead on the stroke of half-time. It's live on Talksport 2. Tottenham 0, Newcastle 1.
4th goal of the season for Chow. And they do lead in the 6th minute of first half stoppage time by a goal to 0. So Chelsea leading Leeds 1-0, Everton 1, Bournemouth 0, Spurs 0, Newcastle 1. And in the Championship, Leicester 3, Southampton 0, Norwich 2 up at Oxford. Birmingham against West Brom is 0-0. That was an 8 o'clock kick-off. And this 8:15 start still 0-0 through the opening 6 minutes here on TalkSport. Interesting tonight that Manchester United are doing what they did at the weekend. Cunha is the man that's playing through the middle with Burmo on the left. And it has been an unchanged side for the last 3 games. They played that way against Spurs. They didn't play that way against Fulham, where they played Burmo through the middle and Cunha out wide. Which do you think's more effective for them, Stuart?
I think Burmo playing through the middle personally, but the fact if you're defending it, and I'll put my defender's head on here, the fact that they keep swapping or there's rotation in there is a problem to you. You'd rather one set there and you know where he is, you get to know his style of play. Just looking at both teams, they look as though, I don't know, they've got the mentality of just seeing the game forward at the moment. I think both will probably come away from here and be happy with a point.
Jarrod Bowen made a good 40 yards progress there. Ryan Burmo tackling him and won the ball back at the second attempt. And Mainu back to his left-hand side for Casemiro, who's making his 150th Manchester United appearance today. He's been hitting the high notes in his swan song so far after announcing that he was on his way in the summer. The ball clipped forward there just to drift straight through to Hermansen in the West Ham United goal. Half-time whistle's now gone at Spurs. Ollie?
Yeah, Tottenham 0, Newcastle 1 at half-time. Malik Chow with the goal right on the stroke of half-time. He prodded home a rebound, having seen his initial header save. Newcastle fully deserved their lead. Spurs with plenty of work to do in the second half. Booed off by their fans at the break. It's Tottenham 0, Newcastle 1.
In the National League, Wilston are trailing at Altrincham by a goal to 0 as West Ham United have possession inside their own penalty area. Hermansen going to his left for Disasi. Potts showing for the ball under immediate pressure from Kobbie Mainoo. Able to lay it back for Diouf. Then turning the ball out of the right. Wan-Bissaka is on the end of an excellent crossfield pass, and the Hammers have effectively changed the direction of this attack. Work then back into the feet of Tesh Fernandez. Nice ball from him. Bowen receiving it on the half turn. Just drifts back towards the centre circle. Plays in El Hadj Diouf. Out of the left-hand side. Diouf continuing his run. Somerville couldn't find him, but gets another opportunity. Crescencio Somerville coming back outside the penalty area. Flick header from Bowen, and it's gone wide. Decent ball in. First, a half chance for West Ham with 8.5 gone at 0-0.
Yeah, West Ham on the build-up will be looking for their Fernandez, that is for sure. Got a good range of passing, gets turned very well. United on the other end, they've got their own Fernandez, who they'll look to feed, just operating behind West Ham's midfield, just in front of the back four. And we wondered whether Souček will be the deep lier or the one further up. I think he's the one looking to get up and looking to play at point, with Potts and Fernandez in behind. I think they operate better that way. It gets Souček in the box if the ball's coming in, and it gets Fernandez on the ball in the deep line role.
Here's Lisandro Martinez for Manchester United, bringing it forward towards halfway with Talksport. As he's clipped one over the top beautifully. What a pass that is for Bruno Fernandes, who's lobbed it over the goalkeeper but over the bar as well. Then the flag comes up and it wouldn't have counted, but a wonderfully flighted ball over the top from Lisandro Martinez. We're just waiting to see how close Bruno was to being offside. Not a marginal decision, it has to be said.
I've got to say, I think if he is onside, Mavropanos has got absolutely no idea where he is. And that is a little bit worrying, that a straight ball like that, albeit he's just strayed.
Good goalkeeping from Hermansen, who couldn't be sure that the flag was going to come up, and he raced out. Forced Bruno Fernandes to take it early, and he clipped it over him, but to do so, because Hermansen was on the scene so quickly, all he could do was put too much loft on it. West Ham get the ball from back to front very quickly and too long, and straight out of play for a goal kick that Lommons will take with 10 minutes in. 0-0.
Yeah, I've covered United a few games, certainly since Michael Carrick's walked through the door, and I think a feature of their game has been balls that they play in behind the back line. You know, they've got good movement from Abuemo and the like up front, and they really play that ball, either calculated small ones or alternatively just balls over the top that they're happy to chase. And against Man City, against Man City, they're outstanding against it.
No, apologies, Stu. They're determined to play out from the back, Manchester United. Maguire eventually dispensing with the ball, got caught, and Castellanos was coming across to close him down and fouled him. And it's a free kick that United will take through goalkeeper Lommons. West Ham's home record well documented. Played 12, points 10, and they've conceded not too far short of twice as many goals as they've scored here. Beat Newcastle, Burnley and Sunderland, but that has been it, although the performance against Sunderland in their last home game was significantly better than nearly every home display that's preceded it. Trying to build on that tonight in a fixture in which they've got a really good record. In fact, if they win tonight, for the first time since the 1970s that they've won 4 successive league games at home to Manchester United. Maguire heads the latest long ball away. West Ham winning the seconds, nodded down towards Castellanos. Man United win it back, and then only find Diouf. Mainu takes over, the latest to win the second ball in the midfield. Ahmad goes out to the Manchester United right. Diagonal ball clipped for too long for Brian and Burmo, and it goes straight through for Hermansen. You're listening to West Ham against Manchester United on Talksport with Sky Sports. And don't forget that with Now, you can stream the Premier League flexibly with a Now Sports Day or month membership. 18 plus, stream via internet. Terms apply.
We've just seen West Ham moving the ball from right into Freddie Potts. I think Freddie Potts should be hitting a big diagonal there.
Somerville, right-footed effort. Lommons beats it away. Loves to drift in from that left-hand side onto his right foot. He's in the goal-scoring form of his life. Lommons would have been disappointed had that beaten him, but he had to stretch just to palm it away to his left-hand side and get it wide for a corner.
Yeah, comfortable save, but you've got to say, really good play by Somerville, opening the goal up and just making the point earlier. You know, they moved the ball out, Fernandez into Bowen. I think when it comes back into Freddie Potts, if you're really going to expose United, Somerville needs the ball nice and early.
So Bowen to take this latest corner, not as congested the 6-yard box this time. Perhaps they sensed that Bowen wasn't going to get enough height on the delivery. It was easily headed away by Cunha. from the corner of the 6. Back into the fray from Wan-Bissaka. Poked down by Souček to Potts. Now Somerville. Out towards Diouf. Not too far from the corner flags. He fires that in, and Dallow will be able to knock it away. Playing 300th game of his career tonight. Casemiro turns it further forward. He's a few ahead of him. But Mavropanos chasing Bournemouth, who guided all the way back to his goalkeeper in League 2. Cambridge, the 5th in the table. After only one league defeat in their last 15 games. So that came at the weekend. They lead at struggling Crawley by a goal to nil. Crawley nil, Cambridge 1. More live games for you tomorrow. We got Manchester City hoping to get the gap at the top of the Premier League, back down to 3 points ahead of Arsenal's game on Thursday. Man City taking on Fulham. That is on Talk Radio tomorrow. Our live game here on Talksport also kicking off at 8:15. Join us on Wearside for Sunderland against Liverpool. But a reminder that those games and Villa Brighton, Palace Burnley and Forest Wolves all available on the Talksport app. So if you've got the app, it's easy just to go to the live games tab and seamlessly swipe between anything that you want to hear. Also, Thursday night, Arsenal hoping to get back potentially 6 points clear, maybe extend the gap at the top to 9, depending on what happens tomorrow. Arsenal at Brentford kicking off 8 o'clock Thursday night. Another game that is exclusive to the Talksport network. And then the FA Cup starts on Friday, and I'll give you the FA Cup details as the night progresses. Suffice it to say, we've got more live games than anybody else. Martinez coming forward on the halfway line for Manchester United. It's 0-0 through the opening 15 minutes. Harry Maguire plays it to his right-hand side. Now Cunha coming short, getting the ball into feet. Mainu, stab forward for Cunha's run, who's darted out towards the right. Suspicion that he is going to be close to being offside. He's kept it in, and there's no flag against him yet. He's down by the dead ball line, pulled it back, and El Hadj Diouf was there, and he clears up the touchline, and it's curved straight out of play for a throw to Manchester United near the edge of the penalty area. Still 0-0. Just a little bit of shadow boxing going on in the early stages. Neither side able to really exert any authority on this game.
Yeah, they're not, because the tempo of the game, it's not a high-octane game. Both teams are happy, just feeling each other out in the main, you know, and there's not been too much sort of high-energy attack play at present. I really get the impression that both teams will be delighted to take a point from this and move on to maintain their sort of recent form, being undefeated.
If Manchester United get a point, they will move within 2 of Villa above them in 3rd. Got their first corner of the night here, which Burmo's going to go across to take. The Virtue Trophy Northampton lead 2-1 at Wimbledon. And Burmo just picking up the loose ball. Walks down towards the corner flag, spots the yellow ball on the corner quadrant. There's a very inventive corner that got Manchester United ahead on Saturday. What can they muster from this? You'd imagine it's going to be a left-footed in-swinger from Burmo, from that far touchline. It's clipped in really, really deep towards Maguire at the far post, who slightly mistimed his jump. He was on his way down by the time the ball got to him, and he's just headed it wide of the near post. Now to play for a goal kick. Through 16 minutes here on Talksport. West Ham 0, Manchester United 0, and barring one relatively comfortable save from Lommans, neither keeper's had a lot to do.
No, I'm surprised West Ham didn't operate a crowd scene around the goalkeeper. United operate a crowd scene around the goalkeeper there to put him under a little bit of pressure.
Jarrod Bowen on the end of a 70-yard ball forward, and he was fouled by Luke Shaw. And the free kick goes West Ham's way. Only about 7 or 8 yards from the corner flag. It's an opportunity to work it inside the penalty area. Souček, who's very adept at attacking these, makes his way towards the edge of the box where he stands next to Somerville. Mavropanos and Disasi, the two centre-halves, are forward as well. Simon Hooper, the referees, put the spray down. It's actually nearer the touchline than the right-hand edge of the box. And Ahmad, who's the one-man wall, is just inside the penalty area. Bowen standing over it, so too Mateus Fernandes. But the Portuguese star just walks away. So Bowen to take it. Fernandes feigning indifference here, but the short one to him could be on. Manchester United not picking him up at all. In he comes over from Bowen, really deep, and it's just bypassed everybody and curved straight out of play.
Yeah, really, really poor there. But as you say, if you're working a quick one, into Fernandez. He's just walking away. If he turns round, receives defeat, I think he gets the opportunity to get a finish away.
Certainly found himself in a really good position inside the penalty area, but no pass forthcoming. Lommans will play it out from the back. 0-0 through 18 minutes here on Talksport with Lisandro Martinez under pressure from Tati Castellanos, working it back for Lommans. Just side-footed to his right for Harry Maguire and back again. Lommans taking another couple of touches and a third. Probably wouldn't have been time for a fourth necessarily. He got it away with his third, just clipping it out to the far touchline. It's a West Ham throw. What have you made of Castellanos since his arrival here?
I think he's been steady away. I don't think it's an easy start to come in as a centre forward at West Ham, because West Ham haven't been doing particularly well, aside from, maybe the last couple of weeks, if you like. But I think he's working hard enough for the team, but he's not done anything to really catch my eye, Jim, I've got to say.
Well, got his first Premier League goal at Burnley at the weekend. He scored the winner against Queen's Park Rangers in the FA Cup as well. That's been it so far. 2 in 6 for him coming into this. Bowen with a little reverse, and Brian Mbeumo is back. Should be able to deal with it easily enough on the left-hand touchline for United. Played for them by Lisandro Martinez. Gets it back from Casemiro. Manchester United just work it into Kobbie Mainoo, who can turn, and that's really neatly done. Cunha dropped off and then gets it back and plays it through the centre circle out to the right-hand side. Ahmad making his run towards the byline. Has he got it into Disasi before it's gone out of play? The answer is no, and a goal kick is given. 0-0, 20 minutes gone. Half-time in the East Midlands at the King Power. Jeff Peters.
Leicester lead Southampton 3-0. 18-year-old loanee Divine Makassa with the opener on his full debut after Archer missed a sitter for the visitors. Patson Daka rounded the keeper after Fellow's mistake to double the lead. Then Abdul Fatawu, found by Makassa, smashed in his 8th of the season. Leicester 3, Southampton 0.
Also half-time at Oxford, where Norwich lead by 2-0. Mo Toure has scored both of them. They're looking for a 6 win in 7 in League and Cup, and get a fair bit of distance between themselves and the bottom 3. That's what West Ham United are hoping to do. They can't do that tonight. They will be back level on points with Nottingham Forest above them. If they win here, their goal difference at the start of the night is inferior by 4 to Sean Dyche's men, who are in action tomorrow, and you can hear that via the Talksport app. Forest at home to Wolves, kicking off at 7:30. Cunha and Burmo down towards Luke Shaw, and he's got time to measure across. It's poked inside the penalty area. A disappointing ball from him, and not the best clearance from Mavropanos. He got it out of harm's way, but at the expense of a corner which perhaps he didn't need to concede. Corner that will be taken on the United left, and it's unsurprisingly the cue for Maguire and Casemiro to come forward. You've been moaning the fact that last time they left bodies back. This time they have got plenty inside that 6-yard box.
Yeah, I mean, I'm thinking this might go under the crossbar, and the goalkeeper's got decisions to make, or not, as the case may be.
Worked in through the 6-yard box. It took a little flick at the near post and was eventually cleared before it drifted in at the far. It was Aaron Wan-Bissaka that was in the right place at the right time. Just fizzed in towards the edge of the 6-yard box. Well struck. Swept left-footed by Luke Shaw, I think it was. It was Wan-Bissaka that got back there and kicked it off the line.
I'll tell you what, 2 fantastic corners we've seen. One hit the back of the net at Old Trafford a few days ago, and that one as well. Really good players moving forward, but keeping well into the goal, and Luke Shaw just drifted from the far post just outside the 6-yard box. Very unfortunate not to score.
He's only got 4 goals in his career, Luke Shaw. They've come at a rate of about 1 every 80 games in a Manchester United shirt. It wasn't too far away from being his first goal in the Premier League for just over 3 years. Very well defended. And the ball swept in. It was only about 6 or 7 yards from the goal. And the ball curving in towards the bottom right-hand corner, beat the goalkeeper, but Wan-Bissaka on the post for a reason did his job well.
Yeah, really, really well worked set play again by United.
Big game in the Premiership north of the border tonight. We'll keep you up to date with that. It is 0-0, the Edinburgh derby between Hearts and Hibs. Hearts hoping to extend their lead at the top back to 6. Alessandro Martinez has the ball at his feet and has played it forward over halfway. And here is Luke Shaw again. And Burmo to his left, but he's checked. Goes back for Kobbie Mainoo. Past the midway stage of the first half with that effort from Shaw, the best chance that either side have created so far. 0-0. Alessandro Martinez has it. Forward from him to Kobbie Mainoo. His left for Bruno Fernandes. Martinez again. Slows the ball down to a standstill, trying to draw Castellanos into a challenge. It's worked out towards Casemiro. Casemiro now towards Dalot, swept inside the penalty area. Wan-Bissaka volleys that one away as well. The Potts was just waiting for the ball to come to him so he could clear. It never did. And a good industry back on the edge of his own penalty area. He is able to get it away. Nuno not happy, but has seen his side be able to get it to Somerville down the left from Diouf's long ball. Dallow's dealt with him, and it's a Manchester United throw. Some pretty indifferent defending for a moment, but they were able to get the ball away. Just almost guilty of overplaying it, West Ham, inside their own penalty area, but survived.
Yeah, it was Fernandes received the ball and he, instead of clearing his lines, just tried to play his way out, as players do these days.
Do you ever do that? You ever get caught in possession inside your own penalty area?
Never. Well, a couple of 100 times maybe.
Well, you said it with conviction, I'd have believed you. Here's Cunha. Back towards halfway for Manchester United. That has been a more than fine drizzle in the air all day, but it's getting a bit misty now as Luke Shaw, left-hand side of the penalty area again, plants one right through the 6-yard box and it's cleared. And the referee has given a free kick Manchester United's way here.
I think Luke Shaw was a little bit frustrated there. He's got the ball on the left-hand side of the box here and he's waiting for his colleagues to get in the box and make runs. And, well, no one did, basically. They just sort of pulled away, both players. The vision you've got to see as a left-back there, at least 2, 3, 4 players making efforts to get between the goalposts.
Well, ball has gone out of play for a throw to Manchester United, which was clearly a foul throw by Shaw. And has been punished. Cunha was making a point that he was just stopped from making that run that Shaw was hoping for because Mateus Fernandes came across and body checked him. But no free kick was given, and then Manchester United waste the subsequent throw, so it's one for West Ham, which they will take inside their own half. Looking for a 5th win in 6 in League and Cup, which has been some turnaround for them. In fact, only Chelsea and Manchester United themselves have taken more points over the last 4 league games than Nuno's Hammers. We've got it again here with Diouf in towards Somerville, who's scored in 5 successive games for the first time in his career. Fernandes back behind Somerville. Flick round the corner, Bowen was waiting and didn't get there. Souček though plays Wan-Bissaka in, wider than he wanted to go, but he can wrap his right foot around it and deliver across. That's knocked away as far as Diouf. Back from him to Freddie Potts. To Diouf again. Deeper still for Wan-Bissaka. Disasi to Mavropanos. Now out on the left is Diouf. Every West Ham United defender getting a touch of it in this move. Forward towards Somerville now. Somerville can turn. Tries to thread the ball forward. Thomas Souček involved in a little bit of a wrestling, a wriggling match for a moment over on the right-hand side of midfield. Play goes on and Manchester United switch it quickly down towards the left for Brian and Burmo. 0-0 the score here on Talksport, 26 minutes gone. Shaw in towards Mainoo. Sandro Martinez taking a touch and then with his second working it away from Tati Castellanos, who certainly hasn't had a chance worthy of the name so far. The West Ham United striker, I think 99% of his work has been done out of possession. Brian and Burmo on the Manchester United left. Approaching the edge of the Hammers box again. Back from him to Shaw, to Bruno Fernandes. Brian and Burmo will try and take over. They'll flick back into his path by Mainoo. Clipped in left-footed, but not to good effect from Bruno. And easily caught by Mess Hermansen. It's 0-0.
Well, I think United are falling short a little bit here. They've had build-up play, which has got them to the last third. but whenever a player looks up to maybe put the ball in the box, I'm not seeing numbers in the box. You've got to overload the box if you possibly can, at least give encouragement to the crosser.
The Virtue Trophy, Stockport 3 up at Port Vale. They're going through. Wan-Bissaka's got possession for West Ham United here in East London. On an increasingly Greek night, Bowen, Wan-Bissaka, after a clever little over from Castellanos. Manchester United win it back and can bring it away with Casemiro. He's then on the slide, but pokes it forward to Mateus Cunha. Bruno Fernandes to his left. Ahmad making a run. He's the most advanced of the Manchester United players, but the cross wasn't forthcoming. Instead, they've worked it short. Burmo wins a throw that he's taken quickly and then gets it back from Bruno again. Kobbie Mainoo takes over. Only a few weeks ago that we were talking about the free Kobbie Mainoo t-shirt. And look at him now on this longest run of Manchester United starts that he's had for nearly a year. Sandro Martinez back to the aforementioned Mainoo. 20 yards outside the box. West Ham keeping a very disciplined, regimented shape behind the ball. Long left-footed delivery from Bruno Fernandes goes out to the right flank. Ahmad controlling it. Back in field from him to Casemiro. Casemiro getting it forward. It's flicked off Castellanos. Back for Maguire. Martinez inviting Souček to make a challenge. Passes the ball to his left for Shaw. Now Martinez again. And the third big, thick cut of green grass between the halfway line and the edge of the penalty area. United just drifting forward a few yards, but not playing at any great tempo. And the Hammers reluctant to engage. So there's a bit of a standoff at times in this cagey midfield battle. Now as Lisandro works it forward, it's come off Mateus Fernandes. There will be a throw that will be taken on the Manchester United left, right in front of Michael Carrick, back on his old stomping ground. Well, kind of, you understand what I mean. Back against his old club. 159 games he played for West Ham at the start of his career. Here's Shaw. Shaw in towards Cunha. Poked away by the retreating Souček. Bowen trying to take over as he overrun that. He has, but under duress. Shaw's fouled him. And it's a free kick to West Ham, not too far outside their box. 0-0. Half an hour. I think it's fair to say that the remaining 2 half-hour periods will probably have more goal-mouth action and excitement than the one we've navigated so far, Stuart. What do both sides need to do just to try and improve their fortunes?
Well, I think from Manchester United's point of view, I would have said more energy, more tempo to their forward play. When the ball does go into these wide areas, I think they need to feed Ahmad a little bit more with the ball and encourage him to go and take his fullback on. And more importantly, get players in the box between the goalposts, so encourage the wide players to put the ball in the box. At the moment, they're looking up and thinking, well, there's no point putting it in there. We're outnumbered 5-1, 5-2. From West Ham's point of view, I think they're quite happy to stay in the game and wait for the counter-attack moments, and this man who's on the ball now might be the one, Somerville.
I'll be back around the grounds in a moment, but Somerville making his way forward down the West Ham United left, wins a throw that Souček gallops forward to take. But no, really that he wanted to restart play too quickly. Diouf takes the throw into the beloved Somerville, whose left-footed cross takes a deflection. Castellanos reacts to that well, but can't find a teammate on the edge of the box. West Ham get it back in the midfield, but are forced to go all the way back from Mavropanos. Now it comes down towards Wan-Bissaka, and the ball is on the penalty spot at Chelsea. Here's Alex Crook.
Chelsea 1, Leeds 0, but it's Cole Palmer from the spot here against Carl Darlow after João Pedro had been shoved over inside the box by Biol. And Palmer, who's been excellent all night, steps up, rolls the ball left-footed into the bottom corner, and it's now Chelsea 2, Leeds 0.
Looking good for a 4th straight home win and a 7th win in 9 under Liam Rosenior, maintaining their 100% record since he took charge. Chelsea 2, Leeds 0. Now let's go back to Everton. Here's Matt Jones.
It's still Everton 1, Bournemouth 0, but Bournemouth have just had a huge shout for a penalty. Rayan going down in the area under pressure from Mikalenko. Iriola thought it definitely was one. VAR disagreed. Everton 1, Bournemouth 0.
And the Spurs, Newcastle ahead. The last time we heard from Ollie Clint.
Tottenham 0, Newcastle 1. Huge chance for Spurs just now. Archie Gray bursting down the right, laying it on a plate for Matthias Tell, 8 yards out, but he could only blaze over. It would have been against the run of play, but more frustration for Thomas Frank. This game is live on Talksport 2. 10 gone in the second half. Tottenham 0, Newcastle 1.
Chris Somerville making his way down the left-hand side of the penalty area. A sliding challenge came in from a United defender. A little double ricochet, I think. The last touch probably coming off Diouf. Maguire slid in but didn't make any contact before the ball was over the line. Diouf still down hurt though, behind the goal and potentially in need of treatment. So Newcastle leading at Spurs by a goal to nil. Always a sports bar, a fascinating listen, but particularly on the back of a poor Spurs performance. And I know that Jamie O'Hara, they tell me back in the office, far from happy, not impressed at all with the defending for the Newcastle goal. It'd be well worth a listen to Jamie's views on Spurs tonight, following us at the end of this game, just a touch after 10:15 or so. And you can book your calls and react to all of the night's action on 03717 223344. Whistle's gone here, Stuart.
Yeah, Lemon's just taking an eternity with the ball at his feet. 1, 2, 3 touches. Souček's gone to press him, and he's cleared it and hit the ground. I think it's one of those, as a goalkeeper, you think, I'll clear the ball and fall on the floor. So if the clearance is good, all well and good. If not, and it gets blocked, he might give a free kick, and that's exactly what happened. Somerville there picked the ball up, just cut inside, and you're thinking, go on, have another go at the United backline, and he's rolled one, just overhit it to Diouf. But I think supplying him, West Ham, is a really good outlet at the moment. When you've got a wide player playing well, feed him the ball nice and early and give him that encouragement.
That's some night for the Aussie international striker Mo Toure. He's got a hat-trick for Norwich on his second game for the club. They paid an initial £2.5 million for him to the Danish club Randers. He's got 4 in 2 for the Canaries, who are 3 up away at Oxford. And that's going to be 3 wins in 21 for Oxford, who started the night 4 points adrift of safety. It's currently 0-0 here between West Ham and Manchester United. For the latest odds, head to Ladbrokes. Right now you can get the Hammers at 100-30, the draw 23-10, United to win 6-5 on. That's all thanks to Ladbrokes. 18 plus, gambleaware.org. Another goal, this time at Merseyside, at the Hill Dickinson. Everton, Bournemouth, Matt Jones.
And it's the equaliser. Everton 1, Bournemouth 1. Truffert floats a brilliant cross to the back post, where Rayan, of all people, climbs high and sends a header down and into the back of the net. Everton 1, Bournemouth 1.
What a signing he is going to prove to be for Bournemouth. They've got this €100 million clause in his contract. I don't think it'll be long before somebody activates that. He's had a blistering start to his Bournemouth career. He's equalised tonight. It's Everton 1, Bournemouth 1. 2 goals in his first 2 Premier League starts for the Brazilian teenager. 1-1 the score. That game continues live for you right now on the Talksport app. Chelsea 2 up on Talk Radio at home to Leeds. Newcastle leading at Spurs at Talksport 2 here on Talksport with 9 minutes to go to half time. In East London missed, it's still 0-0. Luke Shaw back for Kobbie Mainoo. Mainoo through the centre circle to his right-hand side. Diogo Dalot's got it now. Back from him to Maguire. It's a game that's not been played at an incisive tempo.
No, it's the tempo that's really slowing down. As of recent weeks, United have been blistering, playing forward passes, over the top, slide rule passes at real high tempo and getting players in the box. Tonight, I've not seen any of that from them as such, and I think that's suited West Ham.
A couple of significant goals in the EFL as well. Reading leading at Wigan 1-0 through Jeriel Dorset. Wigan having a torrid time in the relegation zone and trailing at home to Reading 1-0. And in League 2, the battle of the 2 teams in the bottom 4, Shrewsbury leading Barrow by a goal 0. Anthony Scully, Shrewsbury 1 win in 12. Barrow have lost their last 5. And the Shrews lead there. Northampton have won at Wimbledon in the EFL Trophy 2-1. The National League, Solihull 2, Eastleigh 2. Ball played forward into the West Ham United penalty area. Luke Shaw is waiting, but Ahmad's got it and has picked up Brian and Burmo instead. Cunha has tried to nutmeg Freddie Potts near the edge of the penalty area. Loose ball ricochets through the box and Burmo goes to ground. He's claiming he was just given a shove, but a goal kick is the verdict to West Ham United. 7.5, and it's 0-0.
Yeah, it really is a sluggish game. You're just wanting, if you're a United fan, you're just wanting United to feed it into one of their front four and say, go and take someone on with a bit of pace and a bit of venom. At the moment, that's not the case. Happy to turn away, come backwards, slow build up. And I think that's suiting West Ham rather nicely. West Ham, on the other hand, need to keep feeding Somerville, get the ball into him and let him have a go at Darlow.
They've scored in the last 5 games. He's actually scored in the first half of each of the last 5 games for West Ham, which was some way to end a 28-match, 14-month goal drought. To all of a sudden, bang, 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 bang. Well, that's what he has been able to do. Integral in this excellent run that the Hammers have had. They've won 4 of those 5 games in which he scored. He's just trying to gamble on the halfway line here that he could pick out a pass intended for Casemiro. He couldn't. Manchester United able to get comfortable possession in the midfield with Lisandro Martinez, finding Mainu. 2 to the left-hand side of Shaw and Burmo. Another goal at Hill Dickinson. Matt Jones.
And what a turnaround this is. Everton 1, Bournemouth 2. 2 goals in the space of 4 minutes. And it's Amin Adli who's got it. A free kick sent in from deep, nodded back to the back post. Adli's there. He stoops and nods home himself. Everton 1, Bournemouth 2.
Second of the season for Adli. The Cherries looking to extend their unbeaten streak to 7. And that will stop Everton climbing above Liverpool in the Premier League table. Everton 1, Bournemouth 2, and it continues live on the Talksport app. Lisandro Martinez in possession. You listen to West Ham against Manchester United on Talksport with Enterprise Rent-A-Car. Whatever it is, they're here for it.
This is going to be one of those games where both managers, if they walk down the tunnel at 0-0, they'll say, OK, we've not been that great, but there's a game to be won here, up the tempo and varying bits and pieces tactically. If one of these teams score, their performance in the first half will look rotten. The team that are going that are a goal down.
Dallow very nearly played his way into trouble there in the form of Somerville. He's won it back. There was a collision between the pair of them, and then Castellanos throws himself into Maguire inside the penalty area. It was an easy decision for Simon Hooper. Luke Shaw. Now Bruno Fernandes clipping it for. Shaw continues his run. Ahmad actually runs across him. That creates a little bit of space for Shaw. Ahmad from a tight angle smacks it straight into the side netting. 0-0.
Yeah, he's got to go across the face of the goalie there. I think Luke Shaw may have put him too wide potentially. Couldn't pull it back across the face of the goal. And Castellanos there just jumped into Harry Maguire, akin to bouncing on a bouncy castle, weren't it, you know?
Yeah, without taking your shoes off first. We all know how naughty that is. Let's go back to Stamford Bridge. Here's Alex Crook.
Chelsea 2, Leeds 0, but maybe not game over because Leeds have a penalty in front of their travelling fans at the shed end. Jayden Bogan it was, bursting forward down the right, clumsy from Moises Caicedo, and it's going to be Lucas Mecha to get Leeds back in this game. Mecha up against Robert Sanchez, who really hasn't had a lot to do, particularly in this second half. But still, 23 minutes to go. Are Leeds about to be thrown a lifeline? Here he comes now, Mecha, in front of those travelling supporters. Started his run up, blasts it right-footed into the corner. It's Chelsea 2, Leeds 1. Game on.
It is indeed, and it is live for you on Talk Radio's. Jimmy J. Morgan gives Peterborough the lead at Mansfield. They're looking for a 9th win in 14 and a goal at Spurs. Ollie Klink.
It's the equaliser. It's Tottenham 1, Newcastle 1. Archie Gray has got Spurs level. It was a corner swung in from the right-hand side, headed back across goal, and there was Gray to provide the finish. An hour gone. It's live on Talksport 2. Tottenham 1, Newcastle 1.
Archie Gray scoring only the 3rd goal of his career. 1-1 the scoreline there. 0-0 with 3 minutes to go to half-time here. Both sides have been playing within themselves, I think it's fair to say. It looks like a performance from teams who played on Saturday and are playing on a Tuesday, if you see what I mean. I think that there is so much more to come in the second half. They're just trying to lay a solid foundation in the first, make it a 45-minute game effectively. The Hammers will bring it forward with Somerville. Somerville will turn, come back outside the penalty area, find Thomas Souček. Souček to Mavropanos. Jared Bowen in space. Aaron Wan-Bissaka's got it now. Shrewsbury go 2 up home to Barrow in that big game at the bottom of League 2. Jared Bowen for Mavropanos again. Mateus Fernandes lets the ball run between his feet and turns. A quick little give and go with Freddie Potts. Now it goes out towards Diouf. Back for Potts again. 90 seconds to half-time and probably only a minute to be added, I would imagine. Souček, back for Mavropanos on the edge of the centre circle. Manchester United with everybody apart from Bruno Fernandes back behind the ball. His namesake Mateus is in possession. Back behind square for Souček. He goes back as well to Mavropanos. Progressive ball from him to Wan-Bissaka, but straight back for Mavropanos once more. And now deeper from him to Hermansen. Outside his own penalty area. West Ham taking a few steps back to try and come forward, but they've given it away. Mavropanos presenting it straight to Casemiro. Diverts it down towards Cunha. Out towards Bruno Fernandes on the left. Coming towards the edge of the penalty area. Ball, straight one, inside the 6-yard box. And Disasi comes out, gets something on it. Hermansen will come out and claim. Couple of goals for Bournemouth in the last 10 minutes or so, and now Everton down to 10. Matt Jones.
They are. They're not going from bad to worse. Everton 1, Bournemouth 2. The man sent off is Jake O'Brien. It's a delicious through ball played to Adley, and his first touch is so clever because it takes him in front of O'Brien, heading towards goal. O'Brien brings him down. He's the last man, so it's a straight red card. Everton can have no complaints. Everton 1, Bournemouth 2.
So O'Brien off, Bournemouth leading there by 2 goals to 1. It'll be Everton's first defeat in 7 if they can't find an equaliser. Manchester United getting it forward here with Luke Shaw. 20 seconds left in this first half before stoppage time. Poor ball from Shaw, and it was returned to him with an equally poor clearance from Dinos Mavropanos. Mainoo's got it now. In fact, might not even be any additional time because the fourth official hasn't got the numbers board in his hand, which is often a giveaway. Mainoo down towards Shaw. Shaw down to Bruno Fernandes again, and sure enough, that's the end of a pretty tepid first half. Somerville forcing a save out of Lommans at one end. At the other, Luke Shaw on the end of a well-worked corner routine. His effort cleared off the line by Wan-Bissaka. That has been just about it. West Ham 0, Manchester United 0, the half-time score.
Well, the ref had had enough, so he didn't bother to add anything on. It really was. But, walking football is a little bit like that in that first half. Elsewhere, Chelsea lead Leeds by 2 goals to 1. Everton 1, Bournemouth 2. Everton down to 10 men. And Spurs 1, Newcastle 1. All 3 of those 7:30 kickoffs. But Stuart Pearce, that's not been good. Where's it been going wrong? Think about that for a second, because there's another goal back at Spurs. Ollie Klink.
And it's Newcastle back in front. It's Tottenham 1, Newcastle United 2. It's Jacob Ramsey with the goal. Anthony Gordon had it inside the box on the left-hand side, played it back across goal, and Ramsey just stroked it into the bottom right-hand corner. The Magpies back in front, 23 minutes to go. It's live on Talksport 2. Tottenham 1, Newcastle 2.
By the way, the sports bar later will be unmissable. Jamie O'Hara tweeted not so long, about an hour and a half ago maybe, that if Tottenham don't win tonight, Thomas Frank has to go. And Spurs are 2-1 down at home to Newcastle. So keep an eye on that. Sports bar coming up when we're done at around about 10:15 here at the London Stadium. But 0-0, and that really does reflect what's happened in the first half, Stuart Pearce. Why has it been so bad?
Lack of tempo. Basically that. No one's prepared to pick the ball up in the front areas of the pitch and go with real pace. United have had opportunities to get the ball in the box or counter-attack on occasion and get in the box, and just no energy, not just from the person on the ball, but those around him. They've got to go like stink to get in the box and say to the person on the ball, put it in the box. We got 3, 4, 5 players bearing down on goal. And both teams are lacking any sort of energy. I said it after 2 minutes. It looks as though both teams will say, I tell you what, we're doing really well at the moment. We're winning games. We don't want to get beat today. We'll just take a point each and go home. You'll be happy, we'll be happy, and there you go. But we need one of these teams to score a goal and the tempo will go through the roof, I believe.
When you said that early on, I thought Stuart Pearce has gone a bit early there, but you were absolutely right. Let's go back to Stamford Bridge. Talksport's Alex Crook.
And we went early here as well when we said it was game over, because it's now Chelsea 2, Leeds United 2. I have to say, this is an almighty mess inside the Chelsea penalty area. Metra, I think it was, who played in Jayden Bogle. He never really had the ball under control, Bogle, but Robert Sanchez, the Chelsea goalkeeper, almost ran into his own defender, and Noah Okafor off the bench. He had the simple task of side-footing into an empty net from 7 yards out. Chelsea 2-0 up and cruising in this game. Incredibly, it's now Chelsea 2, Leeds 2.
Wow. And, of course, you can hear that live on Talk Radio. 2-2 when Chelsea had been 2-0 up. That's not all over. But Stuart Pearce, you did say after a couple of minutes settling for a draw, but I don't think that Man United's identity we've seen under Michael Carrick will allow that in the second half. And I also think West Ham have got to realise they are still in the bottom three. They are still 3 points behind the team above them. And these fans want to see their team come out and win at home, surely.
Yeah, there'll be both sets of coaching staffs in their dressing room at the moment saying, if we just raise it 10% with a bit more energy and a bit more thrust going forward and, be a bit more dynamic running off the ball, we've got a chance of winning a game here. And I think there's a game to be won. And put it this way, if there is a loser, they'll be mighty disappointed with this performance because they haven't put any effort. I wouldn't say they haven't put any effort in. It's been almost like an end-of-season game. Last game of the season, nothing to play for.
And there's players on the pitch who can be match winners, who can inject some energy and quality into the performance for both sides.
100%. We got in a West Ham shirt, you've got Somerville one wing who's shown flashes. I think they've got to supply him with a ball. Bowen we've not seen a deal from on this wing. United, they've got Ahmad, Cunha, they've got real talent in their team and real energy, but we've not seen that energy of recent weeks.
We haven't. Let me run you down the latest scores. Premier League, Chelsea 2, Leeds 2. Chelsea were 2 up. That's live on Talk Radio right now. Everton 1, Bournemouth 2. Everton down to 10 men. That's on the Talksport app. And Spurs 1, Newcastle 2 is on Talksport 2. All those ongoing. They're into second halves. In the Championship, Leicester 3, Southampton 0, Oxford 0, Norwich 3, Birmingham 0, West Brom 0, League 1, Mansfield 0, Posh 1, Stevenage Barnsley was postponed, Reading 1 up at Wigan, Wigan at Arsenal Sunday, live and exclusive on Talksport in the FA Cup 4th round. League 2, Crawley 0, Cambridge United 1. Could be a big night for Shrewsbury Town under Gavin Cowan. They are 2-0 up against fellow relegation candidates Barrow. Virtue Trophy quarterfinals are done. Northampton are through. They won 2-1 at Wimbledon. Stockport won 4-0 at Port Vale. And Doncaster have just beaten Huddersfield 2-0 on penalties after a 1-1 draw. We've got a goal at Leicester. Jeff Peters.
It's Leicester 3, Southampton 1. Ross Stewart came off the bench at half-time and he's just got them back in this game. Ball in from the left-hand side, curled right-footed by Cienza, and Stewart was there, stuck out a boot. They've looked so much better since he's come on at the break, and they've got a foothold in this game now. Leicester 3, Southampton 1.
Keeping you in touch with all the scores. By the way, that's Huddersfield's Doncaster Virtue Trophy quarter-final. Doncaster winning 2-0 on penalties after a 1-1 draw. Huddersfield missed all 4 of their penalties. And in the National League tonight, Altrincham 1 up on Wealdstone, Boston League Gateshead 1-0, Carlisle 2, Scunthorpe 1, Morecambe 1, Tamworth 1, Solihull Moors 2, Eastleigh 2, and Truro Woking is goalless. Hearts, Hibs, Edinburgh, Derby is still goalless. That was an 8 o'clock kick-off. Here at the London Stadium, it's goalless. It's not been great. It could get better. West Ham 0, Manchester United 0, live on TalkSport.
Kick-off on TalkSport with Ladbrokes. 18+ gambleaware.org.
McDonald's wraps, all flavour, no mess. No drips on your drip or grease on your shirt. No crumbs on your keyboard or sauce on your dashboard. Just all the flavour of sweet chili chicken, barbecue and bacon chicken, and new tikka chicken. Wrapped up neat. Served after 11 a.m. Tikka chicken wrap available until the 13th July 26. Fees apply to delivery orders, subject to availability.
The beautiful game doesn't stop at the final whistle, and neither does the sun.co.uk. So you can go beyond the last kick with expert insight into the big moments and in-depth analysis of tactics, plus the latest breaking news and exclusives. And you can get it whenever and wherever you want it. To keep up with every kick, just head to the sun.co.uk. It's unbeatable.
It's another day at Screwfix, and Sir Mo Farah is still getting to grips with things.
So, Mo, with Sprint delivery, we get the order to them in as little as 20 minutes. Hey, Mo? Mo?
Done. He was on the 18th floor.
Nice work. But, you know we use delivery riders, right?
Oh, now you tell me.
Sprint it in as little as 20 minutes. Screwfix. No stopping you. Conditions and geographical restrictions apply.
We all fantasize about our perfect home. Watching the big game, cozied up in the snug.
Another 7-0 win!
Balmy summer nights with the kids playing on the lawn.
We're playing real-life football!
But come on, this isn't real. Listen, if you're serious about making your fantasy a reality, find out what your home is worth instantly with a free online valuation estimate. Get real about moving. Get on the market. Most common time to obtain an online quote between 1st of April 2024 and 30th of June 2024 was under 3 minutes. Excludes Northern Ireland.
At Betfair, we believe that to play different, you need the right tools. The boots, the world-class tactics, the science-backed nutrition. The pros have their tools, and with Betfair, so do you. Our safer gambling tools work just like the right pair of boots, designed to keep you on top of your game. Open the Betfair app to equip yourself so you can bet at your best. Betfair. Play different.
18 plus. BeGambleAware.org.
Incredible scenes here at the Village Hotel's Pub and Grill. Fans are taking their place in the fan zone with stadium-style seating, amazing views on huge screens, and we're underway. Lovely bit of dribbling there as she tackles the burger stack. Now they're getting down the wings. Sticky barbecue. Unbelievable. Oh, and he's hit the bar. And it's there! His favourite ice-cold beer. What a result! Catch every game live in the Pub and Grill at Village. Get in! Find out more at villagehotels.com.
In 10 metres, take a left at the pile of washing.
Sorry, what?
At the Valley of Toy Dinosaurs, approach the kitchen with no room to cook.
Huh?
Turn right at the floordrome. You've reached Chaos. Recalculating. Suggest immediate course correction to IKEA. For fitted wardrobes, children's storage, and cupboard organisers.
Find your way back to calm. Discover smart storage at your local IKEA now. IKEA, the wonderful everyday.
Kick off live on Talksport with Sky Sports. Stream a massive month of sport this February on Sky Sports with a Now Month membership. 18 plus. Stream via internet. Terms apply.
The football animal is alive. Kick off live on Talksport.
Got a couple of goals in League One in the second half. Wigan have equalised home to Reading. Joe Taylor, 2-2 for him. That's one apiece. And the Posh are now 2-0 up at Mansfield. 2-2 for their top scorer, Harry Leonard. Morecambe go 2-1 up on Tamworth in the National League as well. Half-time here at the London Stadium. Goalless. Enia Luco was in the studio with White and Jordan this morning for an hour. It was fascinating. That's an understatement. Simon Jordan took on Deontay Wilder last week. Took on Enia Luco this week. Probably one on points for both. You can listen back to it on the Outspoken with White and Jordan podcast feed on the TalkSport app, or watch it back in full on the TalkSport YouTube channel. So half-time it is. West Ham 0, Manchester United 0. Let's get the half-time odds with Ladbrokes.
Odds update on TalkSport with Ladbrokes. Get a free bet every week of the season and a big boost every day. That's Ladisfaction. Minimum £5 bet. Conditions apply. 18 plus. Gambleaware.org.
So 0-0 here. West Ham are 7-2. Man United are 20-19 on. The draw is 19-10. It's the latest odds with Ladbrokes. 18 plus. Gambleaware.org.
Odds update on TalkSport with Ladbrokes. Get a free bet every week of the season and a big boost every day. That's Ladisfaction. Minimum £5 bet. Conditions apply. 18 plus. Gambleaware.org.
Let's take you around the grounds then in the Premier League. First of all, we'll head to the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium where it could be getting uncomfortable for Thomas Frank. Here's TalkSport's Ollie Klink.
Yeah, 11 minutes to go. It's still Tottenham 1, Newcastle United 2. Newcastle pushing for a third. We've just seen Anthony Gordon flash an effort wide on the half volley from the edge of the box. It would have been some goal. Spurs had been the better side in this second half, but Newcastle responded really well after their equaliser. They were back on the front foot and managed to get themselves back in front through Jacob Ramsey. It's been very cagey at times, but that goal seems to have sucked the life out of Spurs a bit. But I tell you what, Thomas Frank will be desperate for his side to find an equaliser, especially as sections of the Spurs South stand have been chanting Maurizio Pochettino's name. Set for some end to the game here. You can hear it live on Talksport 2. 10 to go. Tottenham 1, Newcastle 2.
Yeah, because he's going to leave the USA just a few months before the World Cup in the USA, isn't he? Strange one. It may be there next season, who knows? But Spurs losing. Jamie O'Hara, remember, tweeting earlier, if Spurs don't win, Frank has to go. Jamie O'Hara will be on the sports bar when we're done at around about 10:15 on Talksport tonight. Let's go to Stamford Bridge. Latest there, Talksport's Alex Crook.
6 minutes left of what's been a fascinating contest. It's Chelsea 2, Leeds 2. Chelsea look to have the points in the bag. João Pedro giving them the lead in the 24th minute. Cole Palmer doubling that advantage from the penalty spot. 13 minutes into the second half, but 2 goals in the space of 6 minutes from Lucas Metzger and Noah Okafor off the bench have got Leeds back on level terms, and you really can't call which way this one will go. Dan James has just come on for Leeds. That tells you that Daniel Farke maybe sees the opportunity to complete a dramatic comeback victory. But at the other end, what a challenge from James Justin. Right corner of his own 6-yard box. Cole Palmer looks certain to score. He had to time it to perfection or he'd have conceded a penalty. And he went sliding in, did Justin, poked it behind for a corner. This game continuing over on Talk Radio. It is frenetic. It's Chelsea 2, Leeds 2.
Could be some point for Leeds United. Remember, their away record, only 1 win in 12 away from home. They've lost 7 of their 12 away games before tonight, and they've come from 2 down and look set for a point as things stand at Chelsea 2-2. What about the game at Hill Dickinson Stadium? Talksport's Matt Jones.
There's still 5 minutes plus added time to go here, and it's Everton 1 and Bournemouth 2. I wouldn't say Everton are quite throwing the kitchen sink at Bournemouth, but they have had their chances to get back into it. Better with a tame header that was saved. Branthwaite heading over from inside the area, and on top of that, Garner flashing over from distance. Their fans are really trying to urge the 10 men forward here, but it's very tough for them. Bournemouth sitting deep, putting men behind the ball and then hitting them hard on the counter-attack as well. Everton 1, Bournemouth 2.
No win in 5 at home in their new stadium for Everton, who look set to go 6 without a win at Hill Dickinson. Let's go to the Championship game at Leicester. Talksport's Jeff Peters.
It's Leicester 3, Southampton 1. Makasa, Daka and Fatawu. Ross Stewart pulling one back. Saints have been so much better in the second half since Stewart, Charles and Motsky came on. Leicester 3, Southampton 1. 20 to go.
Don't forget all of our live commentaries this Premier League midweek. Games tomorrow, of course, available on the TalkSport app. You can get TalkSport on there, you get Talk Radio on there, you get TalkSport 2, and games that are only available via their app as well. Just go to live games, bottom right hand corner of the home screen on the app. West Ham 0, Manchester United 0. Good job, these two are entertaining. Second half on TalkSport with Stuart Pearce and Jim Crawford.
Adrian, thank you. West Ham United, Hermansen in goal, Wan-Bissaka, Mavropanos, Disasi and Diouf. Souček ahead of Fernandes and Potts in the centre of midfield, and then Bowen and Somerville wide and Castellanos up front. Manchester United, Lomans in goal, Dalot, Maguire, Martinez and Shaw, Casemiro and Mainu, Ahmad, Fernandes and Burmo and Cunha up front. We're back underway. Manchester United in their change kit, white shirts, black shorts, and they're kicking from left to right. They're in possession at the moment in the inside left channel and working it forward with a nice touch from Bruno Fernandes to find Ahmad. Good early run ahead of him, but he's gone back for Bruno instead. Down towards Dalot. Dalot on the right flank here for Manchester United. Just trying to draw Somerville towards it. Flicks it round him to play in Bruno Fernandes, but Somerville's won it back. And then Mateus Fernandes, and trying to bring it away, he's gone to ground. A collision between him and Ahmad. Play goes on. Mainu's ball, missing Casemiro in the midfield. Jarrod Bowen winning it back. Good, strong challenge by Luke Shaw. Met in kind by Aaron Wan-Bissaka. A little bit scrappy this at the beginning of the second half. Bruno Fernandes contemplating a shooting attempt. Thought better of it. Works it to his left inside for Kobbie Mainoo. Shaw, Mainoo again, gets to the byline, stands it up, and Hermansen can make the save. Well, in the first 45 minutes, Stuart, we saw 5 shots between the two sides. One every 9 minutes, only one attempt on target each. United shading the attempts count 3-2. They got themselves into good position to have an attempt on 2 or 3 occasions there and passed them all up.
Yeah, they certainly did. And when the ball come in the box there, albeit a really poor cross into the goalkeeper's hands, I just had a count up of players, 2 United attackers and 7 West Ham defenders. I mean, with odds like that, you've got very, very little chance of scoring.
Maguire goes back for Lomans, who was just going 2 minds for a moment, but as Potts bore down on him, was able to get it away. Gets it out to Brian and Burmo on the Manchester United left. 2 minutes gone in the second half. Casemiro inside the centre circle with almost all the time in the world, but he still slowed it down to almost a stop before feeding Kobe Mainoo, getting it away from Castellanos. Now Alessandro Martinez. Mainoo again, reluctance at the moment from both teams, but particularly United at the start of this second half to play a progressive ball forward. It's all been 5-yard passes rather than trying to mix it up. Occasionally, as we saw there, Shaw made a really good run down the left-hand side, but there was no ball over the top to try and find him. Lomans has got it. Hooks it away from inside his own penalty area. Slightly bouncing ball that was played back in his direction. His clearance picked up by Mateus Fernandes in the midfield for West Ham. Now Freddie Potts has got it. Forward from the young West Ham midfielder, who immediately gets it back. Back he goes towards Mavropanos. Cunha gambled that he was going to try and turn it back to his goalkeeper and made a run to cut off that pass. And that forced the Greek international to get it away. But Shaw has won it back in the left-back position for Manchester United. 0-0, 3 gone in the second half. And it's as you were, Stu, exactly the same in terms of the style of play and the tempo as we saw in the first 45 minutes. Here's Ahmad. As a curving ball finds him. Good challenge. Stops him getting too far. Diouf knocking it into Ahmad. And out of play for a throw to the Hammers.
Yeah, it'd be fair to say when the players come in tomorrow morning and look at their dynamic stats on the ball, this will probably be, I would suggest, maybe in high tempo, high intensity sprints, very, very low for both teams.
Diouf clearing his lines. Shaw forced to come across. United let the ball bounce, almost to their cost potentially. Souček winning it, feeds Bowen. And Shaw's out of position. Bowen coming into the right-hand side of the penalty area, across the 6-yard box, and Souček gets the touch of the near post to turn it in. And West Ham United lead. 4 minutes into the second half. One long ball over the top. Shaw got drawn out of position. Bowen fired it in. It's Souček that gets the touch to turn it into the net. And West Ham, who've got a great record in this fixture against Manchester United, lead against them again. And that will reduce the gap at the bottom to Nottingham Forest's safety to goal difference alone if they can hold on.
Well, the game hopefully will come alight now if United needed something to spur them in. I don't know why Luke Shaw's let the ball bounce just inside his half. From that moment on, he's gone to ground to give his wicket away, and all of a sudden West Ham had a few players. The one moving the quickest was my favourite. He's almost a love child of mine, not in the biblical sense, but I absolutely love this fella, Thomas Souček. And there he is in hand to definitely slot between Lemons' leg.
As long as it's only almost. 1-0 to West Ham. Massive roar of appreciation as the goal is shown on the big screen. Souček, who's scored a couple of important goals already this season, off the bench to score in the wins here against both Newcastle and Burnley, starting tonight and netting his 4th goal of the season, his 45th in West Ham colours. They lead Manchester United 1-0. Here's Dalot. You made the point coming up to half-time that as soon as the first goal is scored, whoever concedes it will feel as though they're having a really poor night in terms of both the scoreline and the level of performance they've shown. So what can Manchester United do to rectify this situation? 4 straight wins, but they find themselves behind now with work to do.
They certainly have. They've got to be more dynamic with their play, more concise with their forward passes, and not be afraid to take people on. And the final commodity and the most important commodity, and you saw how West Ham scored the goal, had 3 players between those goalposts, and one of them being on the move, Thomas Souček, ended up scoring. Got to take a leaf out of West Ham's book on that last goal.
Dallow with a long throw inside the penalty area that is cleared. Picked up by Mainu. Mainu hitting a long diagonal. Should be easy for Hermansen. It is. He comes out and catches it just by the penalty spot. Manchester United have turned it around on a couple of occasions this season. They won at both Palace and, of course, under Carrick at Arsenal, having gone 1-0 down. West Ham, for their part, have lost from 1-0 up here 3 times this season. They've dropped 18 points, which is the worst record in the division from winning positions. Diouf over the top here. Somerville looking for a 6th successive goal-scoring game. Couldn't get himself into his shooting position because the defenders came back very quickly and he was actually offside anyway. Free kick to Manchester United, trailing by a goal to nil at West Ham.
Yeah, the team that have been spurred into energy seems to be West Ham at present.
Bruno Fernandes is caught here. In the live table, Spurs are only 3 points above the relegation zone. As it stands right now, Leeds have 30, Spurs 29, Forest with a game in hand at home to Wolves tomorrow 26, West Ham 26. So Spurs, who've got an awkward looking run-in, only 3 points above the bottom 3 as things stand right now. I say awkward because their home form's so poor. It's going to be, after tonight, 4 home wins in their last 27 Premier League games, and they have got the 5 sides around them in the table all to come at home in hugely significant contests between now and the end of the season. They've also got Arsenal at home and difficult away games at the likes of Chelsea and Liverpool and Villa. Manchester United bringing the ball forward again. Ahmad, Casemiro in support. One back by Mateus Fernandes. Flicked on by Somerville. He's turned into trouble. The ball flicked onto the right foot towards the edge of the penalty area. Mainu trying to set up Ahmad, and it's just poked away. Off to Chelsea in a moment. Bruno Fernandes clipping the ball inside the penalty area. Well headed away by Mavropanos. Right-footed effort from Dallow. Blocked by Somerville. The game finally woken from its torpor with the Manchester United concession. High ball through the penalty area. Misses everybody, and Burma will be able to keep it in down by the left-hand corner flag. It's laid back for Shaw. Back to Mbermo again. Burma cutting away, forced away by Wan-Bissaka. Now towards Martinez, to Dallow. Dallow 15 yards outside the box, goes behind square for Harry Maguire. Let's go. Back to Stamford Bridge, Alex Crook.
Chelsea 2, Leeds 2, but I've just seen the miss of the season from Cole Palmer. Caicedo with a cross from the right. He's 2 yards out, Cole Palmer. It's an open goal, and he's blazed it over the bar. Incredible. Chelsea 2, Leeds 2.
West Ham will be able to bring it away. You're listening to West Ham against Manchester United on Talksport with Sky Sports. And don't forget that with Now, you can stream the Premier League flexibly with a Now Sports Day or month membership. 18 plus, stream via internet. Terms apply. Ball's out for a throw, which has been given Manchester United's way over on the far touchline. They've got it with Casemiro. Casemiro through the centre circle. Big game in the National League South tonight. Chippenham, who are bottom of the table, leaders Torquay by a goal to nil with 5 minutes to go, which would be the turn-up of the season in that division. The ball is thrown by Hermansen out to the right-hand side for Wan-Bissaka. 10 gone in the second half here. West Ham leading, courtesy of that Souček goal 6 minutes ago. Now Jared Bowen's got it. Castellanos is in the penalty area. Shaw puts the block in, and he goes out of play for a West Ham throw. Another goal, and Leicester, Jeff Peters.
Leicester 3, Southampton 2. The comeback is on. They were 3 down. First Ross Stewart, now Jack Stevens thumping in. 7 minutes of normal time remaining. Leicester 3, Southampton 2.
Premier League full-time whistle's about to go in the 7:30 kickoffs. In fact, Bournemouth have won at Everton, and we'll get details in a moment. Somerville on the left-hand touchline. Mansfield pull one back at home to Peterborough with 5 to go in that League One game. Somerville, sliding challenge from Dallow. He got the man, not the ball. It is outside the penalty area. But a yellow card for Dallow and a free kick in a good area here for West Ham. Let's get those full-time details at Everton. Matt Jones.
Everton 1, Bournemouth 2. The Blues ahead at the break when Ndiaye scored from the penalty spot, but it all went wrong after half-time. Rayan first springing to head home Truffaire's cross, and then Adley stooping to nod home. Hills knocked down to make it 2-1 Bournemouth. O'Brien sent off to make Everton's night even worse. Back-to-back away wins for Bournemouth, though. Everton 1, Bournemouth 2.
And full-time as well as Stamford Bridge. Alex Crook.
Chelsea 2, Leeds 2. An incredible turnaround from the visitors. Chelsea 2-0 up through goals from João Pedro and a Cole Palmer penalty early in the second half. Nemecha got one back from the spot on 67, and 6 minutes later Noah Okafor completed the comeback for Daniel Farke's side. Cole Palmer missed an absolute sitter in stoppage time, but points dropped for Chelsea. Chelsea 2, Leeds 2.
And Newcastle 2-1 up at Spurs with a minute of stoppage time to go. In comes this West Ham United free kick from the left-hand side of the penalty area, and it was no more than 3 feet off the ground from Fernandes, whose delivery was thrashed away easily. A long ball over the top from Hermansen, and Dalot electing to play it, heads it down. Somerville first to the loose ball. It's Souček, the goal scorer, bottom left-hand corner of the penalty area, and finding Somerville again. Somerville's just overrun it by the touchline, goes out of play for a throw that'll be taken on the Manchester United right. Potentially a late winger for Reading at Wigan. They're 2-1 up with 3 minutes to go there. Wigan 1, Reading 2. A throw that'll be taken on the United right. Work to do here. 4 wins in a row, of course, under Michael Carrick. Well, they trail here 1-0. Diouf with a high up and under, a ball that skies over the touchline and goes out of play for another Man United throw, but they've got a player down meantime. It's Bruno Fernandes that just got caught, and I think the Manchester United medical staff might have to come and attend to him here. It's Freddie Potts that jumped up for an aerial challenge in the midfield, went slightly earlier than Bruno and caught him inadvertently round the side of the face with a flailing left arm. So 1-0 to West Ham here. It is all over at Tottenham. Ollie Klink.
It's finished Tottenham 1, Newcastle 2. Loud boos from the home fans here at Spurs. Jacob Ramsey with the winner for Newcastle in the second half after Archie Gray cancelled out Malik Chow's opener. Newcastle with their first win in 6. It's one that lifts some pressure off Eddie Howe. It's the defeat for Spurs, which piles the pressure on Thomas Frank as Spurs slip to 16th. Full time here, it's Tottenham 1, Newcastle 2.
And Jamie O'Hara will have plenty to say about it. And he certainly felt that a home defeat tonight would be a bridge too far for Thomas Frank. 03717223344. Spurs fans, have your say on national radio immediately at the end of this game on the Sports Bar on Talksport tonight, which will be a fascinating listen. So in the Premier League, Chelsea 2, Leeds 2. Bournemouth have won 2-1 at Everton. Newcastle victorious at Spurs by the same scoreline. And West Ham leading Manchester United here 1-0 with an hour gone, as near as makes no difference. Kobbie Mainoo in possession for Manchester United. Turning one way, twisting the other through the midfield, and Jarrod Bowen, who's following him every step of the way, just flicked his ankles, and it's a free kick to Manchester United.
Yeah, this United performance is unrecognisable from the last 4 I've watched, without a doubt. And it makes you wonder. I looked at their bench and you think, who's going to come off the bench and make a real difference? And in all honesty, if it's not Sesko, and I'm not convinced at the moment, I think the answer lies on the pitch with the players that are out there. They're the ones that have got to make the difference, but the tempo is so slow for them.
Well, they've got a free kick here about 15 yards outside the penalty area. Luke Shaw standing over it. Left-footed ball, delivered in deep. Maguire heading it back to the edge of the penalty area, and Burmo trying to set up Ahmad for a shot. Went back for Burmo instead, and as he worked it square, it hit Castellanos, and another goal at Leicester. Jeff Peters.
What a comeback. Leicester 3, Southampton 3. Saints look dead and buried at half-time. Ryan Manning has just levelled things up, unmarked 6 yards out, has headed in after corner was touched on at the near post. You'd fancy Saints might go on to win this now. Leicester 3, Southampton 3.
3 defeats in a row for fourth bottom Leicester going into the night, and that will feel like a defeat as well, having been 3-0 up inside half an hour. Only above the bottom 3 on goal difference at the start of the night. 3-3 that game at home to Southampton. Another free kick to Manchester United here as they look for an equaliser. It's 10 outside the penalty area, maybe 12, right of centre. In from Bruno Fernandes, easily knocked away by Mateus Fernandes. The set pieces from both teams have been really poor tonight. Manchester United have done well to win it back. Ahmad, low ball in from him across the edge of the 6-yard box, and Disasi clears his lines.
Yeah, I'm not sure what Fernandes is doing just then. He's ended up... What you need from West Ham and their players is just sensible football. Don't take chances. Keep playing. Keep your energy high. And a back heel in your last third is not what you need to do.
Mainu with the ball inside the penalty area. Headed in for 1-1. Great delivery from Kobbie Mainu. Casemiro comes onto it and nods it past the advancing Hermansen. 1-1.
Well, quite incredible, really. We're talking about getting players in the box, filling the box up for United, and it's probably the one player you weren't expecting to turn up there. Mainu delivering from deep and Casemiro getting in, and I think he's just offside.
It's going to be really, really close. So the angle that we're looking at, which is almost level with play, about a yard from the outside, the yard outside the penalty area, is whether his upper torso has just too far forward past, I think it's Mavropanos, who might have played him offside. It is really close. There's no instant decision, despite the semi-automatic offside technology. That shows just how tight it is. Lines are going to have to be drawn, I think, just to fully assess this. I don't think it's cut and dried.
I think it's offside, and in keeping with the tempo of the game, I think VAR should take another 10 minutes.
Scurrilous. I think it might be. No, it's going to be disallowed.
I'm not sure the goal for West Ham was celebrated as vocally as the one ruled out for United.
Well, on the big screen at either end of the ground, it says decision, no goal, offside. Casemiro inches in it, no more than that. But it doesn't stand, and West Ham's lead remains intact. West Ham 1, Manchester United 0. Wins for Bournemouth and Newcastle tonight. Chelsea Blue a 2-goal lead at home to Leeds tomorrow. 5 more games for you on the Talksport network, including here on Talksport Sunderland-Liverpool, which kicks off at 8:15 as Castellanos feeds Bowen, whose shot's deflected wide for a corner. Also tomorrow night, 4 games at 7:30, with Manchester United trying to get back within 3 points of leaders Arsenal. They're at home to Fulham. Well, that's on Talk Radio. Talksport 2's game tomorrow is Forest against Wolves. Big one at the bottom. Villa Brighton and Crystal Palace Burnley also available on the Talksport app, and then leaders Arsenal at Brentford in a London derby Thursday night, and that one is live and exclusive for Talksport, kicking off at 8 on Thursday. So a corner to be taken on the West Ham right. Left-footed in swinger. Mateus Fernandes went up for it, he just cleared it. Wan-Bissaka volleying it back into the fray after Manchester United cleared. Now the counter-attack could be on. 3 against 2 just for a moment as Brian and Burmo ran into traffic. And it was excellent defending. Wan-Bissaka in the end is able to mop up, but credit to Mavropanos for covering the ground really quickly to get back goal side and being able to put in a challenge. Well, the ball is out for a throw, and Mateus Fernandes is just down on his haunches, holding his rib cage, and Nuno is telling him, get back up to your feet, because the referee didn't stop play, and the throw is taken quickly by Manchester United. Chasing the game now with 25 minutes to go, 1-0 there.
Yeah, they are. United probably an indicator there of what they need to do, get bodies in the box and put the ball in the box a little bit more regularly. They're at walking pace at present, and they've got to get outside that.
Norwich have won 3-0 at Oxford tonight. Reading victorious by 2-1 at Wigan in League One. Wigan in desperate relegation trouble now. It's a 4th straight defeat for them, and only 1 win in the last 9. Sandro Martinez back for Harry Maguire. They're going to be dropping points tonight for the first time under Michael Carrick. It would be the first defeat in 9 Premier League games. They currently have the longest unbeaten run in the division. It's their best winning run since 2024. Carrick's had the best start of any United boss since Ole Gunnar Solskjaer won his first 8 back in 2018. But they're trailing 1-0. They are having all the possession now. Brian and Burmo finding Ahmad. Back from him to Dalot, to Kobbie Mainoo. Mainoo rolling it square to his left. Lisandro Martinez comes onto it, chips it in towards Casemiro. Souček back defending. Bruno Fernandes goes up for it on the edge of the penalty area. Can't help it on. West Ham clear their lines. It bounces once inside the centre circle. Maguire comes across and heads it, not once but twice, straight out to the left-hand side for Luke Shaw. And United will bring it forward again. Ahmad waiting, unmarked on the right-hand side of the penalty area, but not enough weight on the cross to find him. Dalot fetching it in the midfield, working it forward towards Bruno Fernandes. Casemiro, whose goal was disallowed for a marginal offside. Jarrod Bowen tries to get it away from him and does so, and then a sliding challenge puts it out for a throw that will be taken by West Ham, and Manchester United are going to rotate the pack. We're going to see Lenny Yoro and Benjamin Šeško come on. A double change being made midway through the second half. Harry Maguire, the first player to come off. So Yoro on for him. And who's Šeško going to come on for? Cunha. So a straight swap up front as well. I think West Ham are going to make a change of their own. Callum Wilson is the player that's going to come on for the Hammers. A straight swap for Castellanos. It is indeed. 9 and 11 on the board. So Taddy coming off, Callum Wilson coming on to replace him. Wilson, who has scored at home to United for both Bournemouth and Newcastle in the past, but those are the only goals he's ever scored against them in 15 appearances. And he'll come on to replace Castellanos, who leaves the field in a very slow and languid manner. It looks as though he's really been put through it. He's certainly done a lot of chasing tonight, but it's been one of those nights where he's glad he's not been paid by the touch, because he's hardly seen it.
Yeah, he has, but I'll tell you what, he works hard for the team, and I think they appreciate that here. You know, if you're not getting a lot of service, the least you could do is run around and rat around, and I think he's done that for the team.
A full-time result in League 2, Crawley 0, Cambridge 3. Cambridge get back to form with a couple of goals from Sully Kaikai, up to 9 for the season, their top scorer, after that shock defeat at Harrogate at the weekend. A yellow card shown here for a challenge by Mateus Fernandes in the midfield.
No, he's kicked the ball away.
Oh, my apologies.
Yeah, he's kicked the ball away, and it was a correct decision. I don't know why he's bemoaning the decision. I really don't.
There's been another goal at Leicester in the 6th minute of stoppage time. Jeff Peters.
Oh my word, Leicester 3, Southampton 4. They were 3-0 down. Shea Charles has just curled one in. The Foxes fans can't believe it. What a fight back from the Saints. Still playing. Leicester 3, Southampton 4.
3-0 Leicester inside half an hour. Still 3-0 Leicester after an hour. But 4 goals in the last 28 minutes of that game for Southampton. They lead 4-3 deep in stoppage time. Here's Ahmad for Manchester United, trying to launch a fight back of their own. It's been a night of fight backs. Ahmad going down under a challenge from Diouf. Corner is given. Or is he given a goal kick? It looks as though he's given a corner initially. And now, I think the 4th official perhaps, or the assistant referee, has overruled him, and it is going to be a goal kick which will be taken away to our right. 20 minutes to go. West Ham 1, Manchester United 0.
Yeah, but United have got to improve between now and the end of the game, and with West Ham sitting back slightly, I've got a feeling this could end up 1-1. I really do. But United, a bit more pressure. Ahmad on that occasion going outside Diouf, but decided to, I think he was trying to induce some physical contact and a penalty.
Shaw heading the ball forward. Kobbie Mainoo on the left-hand touchline. National League North tonight, a win for Macclesfield. They've beaten Leamington 3-1. They're involved in the FA Cup again after their The giant-killing exploits against Crystal Palace are at home to Brentford next Monday night, and we'll be there with all the FA Cup action for you over the course of the weekend. I'll give you a run-through of the salient games very shortly as Manchester United bring it forward again. Šeško inside the penalty area. Cross that hits Disasi, ricochets up into his chest and goes out of play for a goal kick. Full-time whistle has gone at Leicester. I would imagine to a cacophony of boos. Jeff Peters.
Southampton have won 4-3 after being 3 down to Leicester at the break. Sensational comeback. Boos and chance have sacked the board. Leicester flying through Makasa, Daka and Fatawu. And then Stewart, Stevens, Manning and Shade Charles in stoppage time. Just incredible. Leicester 3, Southampton 4.
I'll tell you the effect that's had on the championship table very shortly as Manchester United have possession with Ahmad in the heart of the midfield. West Ham in FA Cup action Saturday lunchtime. They're at League One Burton Albion. We will be there. Build up. Game day live starts at 11. And Burton West Ham kicks off at 12:15 here on Talksport. Talksport 2 on Saturday for Manchester City against Salford in the FA Cup, which kicks off at 3. And we'll also bring you Villa, Newcastle and Liverpool, Brighton on Saturday. On Sunday, it's Birmingham, Leeds, Oxford, Sunderland and Arsenal, Wigan, back-to-back from 2. That Arsenal-Wigan game exclusive to TalkSport. Grimsby, Wolves on TalkSport 2. And then Macclesfield, Brentford on TalkSport Monday evening. That's your live FA Cup schedule on the TalkSport network coming up over the course of the next week or so. But we've got all 10 games from Week 26 of the Premier League season between now and then. 4 of them tonight, including this one, where Manchester United trail West Ham 1-0. Ball played for by Dallo, but it's cut out. High up in the air from Potts on the edge of his own penalty area. Casemiro's able to take over. Bruno Fernandes angles intelligent ball forward. And Burmo given a little shove, shoulder to shoulder by Potts. It was deemed to be clean. Wilson can't hold it up. And Lenny Yoro seeing to that. And now Manchester United get it forward again towards Casemiro. Clips inside the penalty area looking for Mbeumo and cleared. Off the head of Diouf. Out from Manchester United throw. 1-0 West Ham. 16 to go. Stuart Pearce.
Yeah, and at this moment in time, United look a little bit void of ideas on how to break West Ham down. They're not putting the ball in the box. I think the first thing to do is put the ball in the box. Look, first contact. If you don't get that, can you pick the seconds up? Ask questions of the West Ham backline. At the moment, they're very, very comfortable in the game.
I told you about the situation in the Championship. Leicester, after that defeat tonight, blowing a 3-0 lead and losing 4-3, are above the bottom 3 on goal difference alone. Their goal difference 6 better than Blackburn, but Rovers have a game in hand. Oxford's defeat leaves them second bottom. Southampton with that win up to 9th, making a relatively late run for the playoffs. And a big goal at Tynecastle in the Edinburgh Derby in the 88th minute. Thomas Magnuson, Hearts 1, Hibs 0. Here's Jarrod Bowen bringing it forward for West Ham towards the edge of the penalty area. Touch round Lisandro Martinez, who recovered well and was able to put a decent sliding challenge in. Luke Shaw's going to be able to bring it away. But Manchester United crying out for a little bit of invention that they just haven't had tonight. Šeško dillying and dallying in the midfield. Mavropanos read it well and knocks it away. Manchester United fans frustrated. They've soon got the ball back though. Just inside West Ham territory. Played forward towards Mbeumo. Casemiro on the left-hand side of the midfield. Bruno Fernandes has got it now. Back to Lisandro Martinez again, but every West Ham player is between him and the edge of the penalty area as he works it forward. It comes back across the imaginary horseshoe round the edge of the West Ham box. And Manchester United trying to get between the lines. Šeško on the turn. Hermanson dives down to his right and makes a comfortable save.
Yeah, I'm not sure what that shooting opportunity was on. He's received well enough. He's identified this space, but it was a tough one. He's on the pivot.
The goal for Thomas Souček. They're coming 4 minutes into the second half. Potentially the match winner as things stand. And it's made him the top scoring Czech player in Premier League history, overtaking Patrick Berger's record. Former Liverpool and Portsmouth man. got 38. Souček now with 39 and 6 in the cups for West Ham United. 1-0, 14 minutes to go. It's currently West Ham 1, Manchester United 0. For the latest odds, head to Ladbrokes. Right now you can get West Ham 2-1 on. The draw 23-10. Manchester United to turn this around 8-1. All thanks to Ladbrokes. 18 plus, gambleaware.org. In comes the ball inside the penalty area, and Burmo just on his way down by the time he got to him and couldn't direct his header on target. A little under a half chance, I guess. But Manchester United just not really working Hermansen. 1-0, 13 minutes to go now.
Yeah, bit better by United. Shaw made a good run. Little feathered ball over the top to him, and Diouf's done quite well getting some physical contact on Mbuemo.
West Ham poised to make another change very shortly. We're going to be seeing Ollie Scarles introduced. Whether that'll be Scarles for Diouf and a straight swap at left back, we'll find out together presently. Callum Wilson has the ball. He's worked it into Jared Bowen. Bowen ran down a blind alley. Manchester United can bring it away. Ahmad goes back for Dalot. Dalot to Casemiro. Casemiro behind square for Lenny Yoro. He can play forward for Lisandro Martinez. 13 to go. Shaw down the left-hand side of the penalty area for Bruno Fernandes, and it's his erstwhile teammate Aaron Wan-Bissaka who gets it away. I think he just caught Bruno as he did so. Ball goes out of play for a throw that Manchester United will take level with the edge of the West Ham penalty area. It's going to be a double change for the Hammers because Magassa's going to come on as well. Martinez back for Yoro, and Yoro will come forward, not getting closed down. Now to Mbuemo. Scoops it with the outside of his left boot down towards Ahmad on the right-hand side of the box. Ball again. Stationary by the time it's fed back towards Dalot. Dalot clips it in. Shaw plays it back in, but the offside flag is up. And it's a free kick to West Ham, who see the finishing line getting ever closer. Remember, they hold on here. They're behind Forest and safety, only on goal difference alone. 11 to go. Here comes the double change. Freddie Potts and Malik Diouf are the players that are coming off. So Potts and Diouf off, and Scarles and Magassa on. 2 straight swaps.
Yeah, I'm quite surprised when you're embedded, you're keeping a clean sheet, and you're bringing a young man on for sort of Diouf. I think Diouf's done okay. He's dealt with Ahmad reasonably well. He's got beyond him once or twice, but picking the pace up at the game with a little over 10 minutes to go is never easy.
So Scarles comes on a left back. And Magassa, who scored a late equaliser the last time the two sides met up at Old Trafford back in December, has come on. There's Dalot that gave Manchester United the lead on that occasion. The away side found an equaliser. Manchester United hoping that will happen again tonight. And Joshua Zirkzee's being readied, and he's going to be coming on very shortly.
There's very little going United's way at the moment. I know there's the old saying you've got to make things happen, but the bounce of the ball, the odd offside decision, it's just not going their way at all. And to be fair, it's probably been one of the easiest nights that their goalkeeper would have had for West Ham.
Yeah, clean sheets have been a real rarity. He's only kept 3 in his last 32 Premier League games. This is going to be back-to-back clean sheets for West Ham after their 2-0 win at Burnley.
I don't know how many efforts he's had on target, to be honest with you, Jim. I can't remember one at the moment.
Here's Somerville on the left-hand side of the penalty area. Bear with me, caller. The ball with Scarles, fired deep towards the far post. Not a bad ball by any stretch of the imagination. It's cleared. Wan-Bissaka knocking it back in. And finds Somerville. I don't, for one moment, believe that was his intention. It was an overhit cross, but Chris Somerville has it. Threatens to get it in on his right foot. Checks, then does fire it in. It was Souček at the far post that was going up for the acrobatic volley, but he's fouled his man. And it's a free kick that Manchester United are hoping to take quickly. They haven't been allowed to do that. And another change will be made. Zirkzee coming on for Dalot. Now, the answer to your question, 2 shots on target, 2 apiece. 4 shots for West Ham, 6 for Manchester United. So they've had 2/3 of the ball tonight, but 2/3 of the ball has only given them 6 attempts through 80 minutes, and only 2 of those have been on target, which it's just been a far cry really from the 4 games that we've seen so far.
Yeah, it's been chalk and cheese, Jimmy. You're absolutely spot on. As I say, one of them's been from Sesko, the substitute, which was comfortably saved.
You listen to West Ham Manchester United on Talksport with Enterprise Rent-A-Car. Here for it. Book now at enterprise.co.uk. Casemiro. Now Shaw. Ahmad's out on the left-hand side for Manchester United. Play forward by him. Turned superbly round the corner. Casemiro tries to get to the byline. Fires in a left-footed cross. Hits a West Ham United defender. It was Magassa. And goes back off Casemiro and out of play for a goal kick, which Hermansen will take. And there are only 8 minutes to go. It was the odd muted appeal for a handball there, but his left arm was clearly down, breaking his fall. The ball did hit that. It wouldn't have been a penalty.
Yeah, that's why I thought it might have been a corner on the back of that.
Not given. Well, there was late drama in the Manchester United game at Arsenal a couple of weeks back. We're going to need late drama to try and salvage something here. On a night when Bournemouth have won at Everton, coming from behind to do so. Newcastle have won at Spurs. Leeds have got a draw at Chelsea, having been 2-0 down before Cole Palmer missed an open goal in stoppage time. Brian and Burmo on the Manchester United right as they look to cancel out Souček's goal. And Souček is back in defensive duty this time, heading away by his penalty spot and out of play for a Manchester United throw. 7 minutes to go. Still Manchester United having plenty of possession, having it in good areas, unable to do anything constructive with it by and large.
Yeah, I think they've gone to a 3 now, United. Shaw, Martinez and Yoro.
And so Zirkzee is playing alongside Sesko up front. Brian and Burmo is the right wing back, and Ahmad is playing in a similar role over on the left. Mateus Fernandes has won it back though. Mainu, has he caught his man? Yes, he has. And it's a free kick to West Ham. Well, Manchester United not going down without a fight here. There's certainly plenty of endeavour, but there's, for all the industry, there's no inspiration.
Yeah, indeed. They don't look as though they're carving West Ham open in any way, shape or form, and West Ham are reasonably comfortable in the game, which at 1-0 on 84 minutes you would think it would be an onslaught on their goal.
Hearts have beaten Hibs in the Edinburgh Derby by a goal to 0, and they're 6 points clear at the top of the Premiership. It's only their second win in 5, and that late Magnussen winner, doubling their lead over Rangers at the top. Rangers in action tomorrow. West Ham with Magassa stumbling, but they're not losing possession. Disasi on his home debut plays it forward towards Scarles. Mateus Fernandes didn't take the ball. I think left it for Disasi. He was further away from him than he thought he was, but he was still able to get it. Burmo goes back for his goalkeeper. Lomans plays out. Oh, Lisandro Martinez so nearly got caught on the edge of his own box by Bowen. But he's played through the press expertly and then fired the ball straight out of play past Bruno Fernandes for a throw that will be taken on the West Ham left.
Yeah, clever play in his own box and then not so clever play further up the field.
It was a great touch. I say he nearly got caught. And he's half a second away from being caught, but he was in complete control of the situation. It was a lovely pirouette. And then the distribution was 2 out of 10. Scarles takes a throw. We're in the final 5 minutes here on Talksport. Don't forget, Sports Bar open for business on an intriguing night of Premier League football. 03717223344. Chelsea fans, Spurs fans, Everton fans and Manchester United fans, you will all have something to say to Jamie O'Hara. He'd love to hear your calls and your thoughts. 03717223344. After a fascinating night, and Leicester fans will certainly want to get in on the act as well. Lenny Yoro with the ball forward here, looking for Zirkzee. Wan-Bissaka's had a good night and dealt with him comfortably. Souček, Bowen getting it forward, Wilson chasing. But out came Lomans and Fields 15 yards outside his own penalty area. Mist beginning to fall again here in East London. Manchester United get it forward with Shaw. Out towards Ahmad. Ahmad firing in a deep ball that bypasses everybody and goes past Brian and Burmo. Out for a West Ham United throw that they'll be in no hurry to take. Be barely 3 minutes left by the time they've restarted play.
Yeah, nothing's going for United at the moment. Good opportunity there. Ahmad's just over it. He's crossed. They had bodies in the box as well. And West Ham have just got to sit back, don't overextend themselves and keep play in front of them.
Birmingham 0, West Brom 0. A result in the Championship. Birmingham extending their unbeaten streak to 8. West Brom's winless streak up to 9, but they'll be delighted with the point there after recent travails, and they stay outside the bottom 4. Lenny Yoro. 10 yards aside West Ham United territory. Bruno Fernandes. In towards Brian and Burma, takes a touch, trying to get away from Scarles, opens it up, left-footed shot, has taken a deflection, and it spins it wide, and out of play for a corner.
Well, once again, I'll tell you what, he's Johnny on the spot again. Souček in there. United have opened the goal up, and it was Souček who got back between the goalposts, and it cannoned off his back for a corner.
Nearly everybody forward, apart from Lomans. Everybody is forward, either in the penalty area or right on the edge of it. Except for Brian and Burmo, who takes this corner. Lofted in, Hermansen comes out, punches it clear. Out as far as Ahmad. Hooked by him, right-footed, back towards Brian and Burmo. Got himself back onside. Ahmad fires it in. Hermansen actually gambling a little bit, but as he came back and dropped to his left-hand side, he was able to make the save. West Ham 2 minutes away from what would be a crucial win. Talking before the game that they might, over the last 13 games of the season, have to go 5 wins and 3 draws from their final 13. But one of the wins close to being ticked off here. Double change will be made by them very shortly. Adama Traore and Carl Walker-Peters are going to be coming on. Xerxes got the ball though. Mavropanos knocks it away from him. Manchester United can break up the left. Still 1-0 to West Ham.
Yeah, they can, but just could not find a pass. Ahmad trying to dink one past Mavropanos, who was on the floor, but he's ball to Xerxes. He was just cut out.
Well, no extension to his goal-scoring run tonight for Chris Somerville. He will come off, and Adama Traore will come on to replace him. Traore on for his home debut. Very, very brief one at that. Carl Walker-Peters is also going to be coming on. And who's going to be making way for him?
Jared Bowen just gone off on the far side of the pitch there.
So Bowen makes way. Sports Bar lines it open, as I mentioned. 0371722 334. Spurs fans, are you now past the point of no return for Thomas Frank? Chelsea fans, what did you make of the concessions against Leeds? Manchester United supporters, is this a reality check for you? Casemiro makes his way forward, and just an isolated off night potentially for Manchester United. West Ham fans will be certainly buoyed by this if they can hold on. But Mainoo's got it for Manchester United, and we're expecting 7 additional minutes. The numbers board will be put up in a moment, and it is confirmed. Manchester United fans delighted to hear that, but West Ham will be able to bring it away. Callum Wilson leading the counter-attack. He's got Magassa square to his left-hand side if he can roll him in, and he can't. It was good defending by Yoro, who came a long way back, forced Wilson wide, and it's nothing more than a corner.
I've got to say, I thought Wilson has lost a yard or two of pace. He's just outstripped Ahmad and Yoro there. No, they couldn't get near him, to be honest with you. Incredible.
Tommy Souček announced as the sponsors man of the match. I don't think he's going to be too far away from the forefront of Stuart Pearce's thinking either. We'll get the man of the match confirmation after the full-time whistle, and then the sports bar on 0371722 334 on an extraordinary night of drama and comebacks the length and breadth of the country. Manchester United hoping for one of their own. Fernandes taking this latest corner for West Ham. It's headed away. Comes out for Magassa. Hooked back in from him and not too far away from dropping onto Wilson's right foot. Lommans controls the ball. Runs to the edge of his penalty area and dispenses with it. Shaw looks long. Forward towards Bruno Fernandes, who nods it down in the midfield for Zirkzee. Zirkzee to Amat. Back out for Bruno Fernandes on the Manchester United left. Checks back on the corner of the box. Zirkzee stabbing it in, looking for Amat. It's knocked away. Zirkzee trying to get it back, can't do so. Mateus Fernandes puts his foot on it. Finds Magassa. It's got Traore making a run through the middle. Plays him in now. Adama Traore, and his effort deflected wide of the near post again. Outstanding defending from the retreating Yoro to keep Manchester United in it.
Well, it's incredible how this game swept from one end to the other. United have cleared the ball up to the halfway line. They've only got Fernandes up there amongst 4 defenders for West Ham, and he's managed to get first contact, secure the ball. When it swept up the other end, it was Traore that looked as though he'd opened the goal up, but a great saving tackle by Yoro. West Ham will be in no rush to take this, that is for sure.
4.5 minutes of stoppage time to go. West Ham 1, Manchester United 0 here on Talksport. Sports bar to follow at the conclusion of this game. The corner works short. You'd have put your mortgage on that. Wilson and Mateus Fernandes trying to work it between them. It's then come off Wilson and goes out for a Manchester United throw. It's not the result, but it'll be the manner of it that will frustrate Michael Carrick, and will endeavour to get reaction from the Manchester United interim boss during the sports bar. You'll hear that live. Manchester United bringing it forward. Lisandro Martinez, great take by the off-balance Bruno Fernandes. Right-footed, firing inside the penalty area, and the flick header from Zirkzee is about 6 inches wide of the far post. That, their best chance of the night, and they spurned it.
Well, it was almost the day the world stood still there. It literally a deft touch by Zirkzee at the near post from Fernandes' cross, and everyone's waiting for the far post to ripple. The goalie had given it up, and it sailed past the far post, and it probably sums up United's good fortune tonight. I don't think they've had a lot, but then again, they've not put enough sweat on the shirt to actually create enough.
West Ham haven't kept a clean sheet here since they beat Leicester last February. And is that run about to come to an end? The goal leading a charmed life moments ago. Wan-Bissaka gets it forward. Lisandro Martinez on the edge of his own penalty area finds Lenny Yoro. 3 minutes to go. And Lenny Yoro motors forward here for Manchester United into the West Ham half of the centre circle. There's a really poor pass for Brian and Burmo. Skulls has rolled Callum Wilson in to seal it. Good save, Lommans with his left foot. Flag up anyway, wouldn't have counted. Free kick to Manchester United.
Yeah, the young man's played the pass that he thought was the correct one, but with 3 minutes to go, Scholes has just got to run that into the corner flag. He really has. And United come over the halfway line and try to stage another attack.
Shaw deflected, out for a throw. He's going to try and nick a few yards. He's thrown it backwards, so he gets away with it. Bruno Fernandes deep in the midfield, trying to turn away from his namesake Mateus. Play to his left. Lisandro Martinez coming forward, can't get across him. Bruno might be able to. It's edge back for him in a central position. Casemiro down to the right for Brian and Burmo. And Burmo steadies himself, flicks it into the near post. Oh, it is in! Šeško, 1-1. Brilliant finish from Benjamin Šeško. West Ham United within touching distance. And they haven't seen it through. Ball fired in from the right by Brian and Burmo. It's all about Benjamin Šeško's movement. And he's come on to it and flicked it with his right boot into the top right-hand corner, past Messer Manson. And with 90 seconds to go, Manchester United back on level terms. It's 1-1.
Well, and Buemo's whipped the ball into the box. United have got 5-6 players in the box, something I've been moaning about all game. And Šeško's just got his toe in front of, I don't know who that was, Disasi. And it's just Well, the first probably bit of good fortune United have had, and it's sailed into the roof of the net, and it's 1-1.
A minute for either side to turn 1 point into 3.
And that's probably why the likes of Scholes should have run that ball into the corner flag.
Hammers bringing it forward with Adama Traore. Finding Scholes by the corner flag, by the corner of the penalty area. He's that little bit deeper now. Adama Traore again coming forward, trying to take on Mbermo. He beat him, but he couldn't beat the retreating Casemiro, who, in a prone position on the ground, is able to hook the ball away with his right foot. Then he's laid back to him and he clears long. Šeško making the run. Zirkzee brings it down. And he's able to play forward for Bruno Fernandes. And here they come again. It's Ahmad inside the penalty area. Knocks it square. Poor pass. West Ham clear through Wan-Bissaka.
Well, United all of a sudden have got a sniff of victory here. Not sure either team deserved to win the game, but it's United pushing.
Benjamin Šeško, who scored a winner in the 4th minute of added time against Fulham. An equaliser in the 6th minute of added time tonight against West Ham. The ball has gone out. It's a throw to West Ham in their right back position down by their own corner flag with 30 seconds past the minimum 7-minute mark. And there must be just a couple of touches left of the night. Surely that will be that. Wan-Bissaka being told by referee Hooper to get on with it. Bit of time to be added on because of the celebration of the United equaliser. Wan-Bissaka taking the throw. Referee's looked at his watch and signals the end of the game. West Ham United deeply frustrated. Getting a point at home to Manchester United. I'm sure something that, bearing in mind Michael Carrick's men excellent form coming into tonight, is something that before a ball was kicked they would have taken. But when they got within 2 minutes of a victory, they'll be deeply frustrated. Thomas Souček with the West Ham goal, and Šeško cropping up late again, his 5th goal in 6 games. 1-1, and Manchester United's unbeaten record under Michael Carrick is maintained.
Jim, thank you very much. A reminder of the scores in the Premier League. I'll run through all the results very shortly. Chelsea 2, Leeds 2, Everton 1, Bournemouth 2, Spurs 1, Newcastle 2, West Ham 1, Manchester United 1. Sports Bar taking your calls very shortly. 03717 22 33 44. Stuart Pearce, incredible late drama. What a terrific finish that was from Šeško. That's a great goal.
It was a super goal. They loaded the box up. They got 3 or 4 players in, something I've been bemoaning about. They went caution to the wind, threw a lot of their attackers on, and a deft touch ended up in the roof of the net. After a couple of minutes, you looked at this game with a lack of intensity and thought both teams would be quite happy with taking a point out of this and moving on. And that was the case, but there was a few ups and downs on that journey.
Yeah, we didn't expect it to be so late, and West Ham will have thought they had it won. And I wonder what kind of damage that might be able to do. They're in front, they're leading for a long time in the game, and they've even had chances to add to the lead, just kind of half chances if you like. So how much will that take out of the Hammers?
Well, I think when the dust settles, they're going to have to turn around and say, let's take the point and move on and not be too disappointed. But at this moment of time, Aid, it will seem like a defeat, drawing the game so late on against the Manchester United side that showed such a lack of energy within the ranks.
As for Manchester United, the winning run under Michael Carrick comes to an end, but it's a late goal, and he's got back to that, one of those hallmarks of Manchester United's identity, keeping going till the end and nicking something at the end. They've done it before under Carrick in this little run. They've done it again tonight. It's got to go down as a positive for Manchester United that they didn't play particularly well, but still didn't lose.
Yeah, that's the positive they'll take from it. Michael will know himself that his team were really poor tonight. They were flat, so flat of energy from the first moment till late into the second half, I would say. It was only once they've gone a goal behind that they really started chasing the game a little bit, and late on when they had players in the box and kept tossing it in the box, and it created something eventually.
When we're talking about the relegation situation for West Ham United, they've just got to keep going, haven't they? It's been a really good little run that they've gone on to give them a chance after that Wolves game. We all thought they were down, and they've got to rely on others above them dropping points, which Spurs have done. Leeds have got a point at Chelsea, but they've dropped points. We'll wait and see what Nottingham Forest do, but For West Ham United, they've just got to keep on picking up points. And maybe a few weeks ago, home to Man United, you would have thought West Ham would lose this. So I think a lot of people will think it feels like a defeat because they've dropped points late on. But in the cold light of day, it's got to be a positive for West Ham United as well.
Well, they'll have to take that and use every result that they get and every point that they get as a positive. There's no doubt to keep the morale within the group, within the league position as such. But the bottom line is this could be a very, very important 2 points that have been dropped from that late equaliser.
Do you know what? It's how you view it, isn't it? Is it 2 points dropped? Is it a point gained? We probably won't know till the end of the season, will we?
I look at it like this. I always try to say, did West Ham deserve to win the game or lose the game? Neither. I would say the game was all over a draw from start to finish near enough. You know, it just so happens that the goals come in the order that they did.
Well, it finished West Ham 1, Manchester United 1. Time now for us to pick our man of the match with Enterprise Rent-A-Car.
The Here For It hero on Talksport with Enterprise Rent-A-Car. Whatever it is, we're here for it.
All square, but which player stood out for you, I wonder, Stuart Pearce?
Well, you know where I'm going with this. You know, he scored West Ham's first goal. He's in the box, he gets headers, he gets blocks, he works tirelessly for the team. And I'm not so sure, Somerville on occasion caught my eye, but in the main there wasn't too many players on that pitch that played anywhere near, probably higher than a 6 out of 10.
You're going Thomas Souček. And
I am.
Actually, when we arrived, there was a doubt whether he was going to play, and I think that you were thinking, oh, that could be a problem for West Ham United. Just talk me through the goal very quickly, because I think it's such a lovely finish from him. Really clever little movement from him, isn't it?
Well, he's the sort of player. He was the one who fed the ball out wide to, I think it was Bowen, and he was the one galloping into the box. He was the one that was on the move more than any player, whether it be in a West Ham shirt or a Man United one. And he showed a real subtle touch, something he's not fated for, let's be honest with you. But I tell you what, I looked at West Ham's victories this season, and Souček's either played or come off the bench and scored in both the games he didn't start the game. So he's played a massive part with West Ham, and over the years, everyone's looked and thought he's a little bit ugly on the eye and think that other players, Paqueta's a better player. Yes, he is technically, but I tell you what, his heart and his desire might be exactly what West Ham need at this moment in time to keep them in this division.
Stuart Pearce, thank you very much. That's Thomas Souček, our Here For It hero, man of the match from today's game with Enterprise Rent-A-Car.